Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there. YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode. Moz's Toy Box, Toy Photography Talk. I got a nice, great panel today, but before we get started, I do want to. I feel that I kind of owe you guys an apology. Last week, in my efforts to be humorous, I feel that I may have been a little crass, and I do want to apologize. What you guys do, you put your effort into these projects, and we should take them more seriously at all times and be very mindful in how we address any of our critiques. So, with that being said, I do want to apologize if anybody feels anything was handled inappropriately. After watching the stream, I felt like in my attempt to be funny, might have been a little hurtful. So, I apologize. With that being said, let's welcome our panel. We got Mike, Trevor, Pablo. Let me unmute them and add them. And there we are. How you guys
What's
doing?
going on, everybody?
Oh, man. Crazy time.
What's up, guys?
Crazy.
What's going on, Trevor?
Yeah, stop changing the damn times, Moz. Come on.
I had to work, man. I had to work. Like,
I had to ask.
The last couple weeks ago, I got COVID, so my schedule got. Pablo knows they take you out of the system when they put you on the leave.
Yep.
And so I didn't get rescheduled. And then when I got rescheduled, they put me 10 to 5 all week. And on top of that, as I was telling Mike and Pablo, Saturday morning, I got in a head-on collision. And I'm not feeling great, but I went to work that day either way. And
Holy crap, man.
yeah, I've just had a rough week, man.
He's a trooper.
Yeah, I would have
so
canceled.
my Jeep, who knows if that's going to survive or not? The airbags deployed.
Oh, no.
I'm told when the airbags deployed, they total the car. But
What do you have, a Wrangler?
Rubicon, yeah.
Rubicon. Damn, man.
Big time Rubicon. Ooh.
But with that being said, let's say hi to everybody who's here. Noble Young, first one here, of course. Bennikin, how you doing tonight, Bennikin? Thanks, Ben, for being here. Casper's Corner, great seeing you. Pablo, wait, you're here.
Hey, I love that guy.
I know that guy.
Trevor, man, this is an awesome guy too. Thanks for being here, of course. Renz Tolentino, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I stole that from the Truman Show and I use it. I can't help it. It's just great, good morning, everybody.
You're not saying
collections.
Good morning, Vietnam, because that would be weird.
Yes,
that is weird. I've tried to say that in a humorous way, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
you
work.
Get that look like you just said one of those no words. You know, like nobody's seen the movie but me apparently.
Nobody knows what Vietnam.
Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Chase Magnitude, how you doing?
What's going on,
And,
Chase?
Chase.
Ben, cheers for the apology, Moz. I was in tears. Oh, you were. Now, see, I can't take you seriously.
I missed that. I must have missed that. I don't know. I must have dropped out before you started insulting people.
I was just trying to be funny, I think, and I was getting a laugh at it, but it was brought to my attention that wasn't necessarily funny.
Let me say, it is tough. Like when I saw you say that, like I do like, I was I harassed. I think it was Casper about the refrigerator, the freezer pick. You know what I mean? And, and it's easy. Like criticism is tough, man. Critiquing is tough, man. Like when I was in art school, it was hard to put your stuff there up on the wall and have people just tear it apart, man. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard. So we're just doing this out of wanting to make you better. But same on my part, man. Got to temper it a little bit and not have too much fun, because it is.
And I always tell people,
effort into it. If you're putting effort into it, if you're not putting effort into it, if you're just putting your figure in front of a bowl of ramen noodles, man, I'm
that could be really good.
Yeah,
and favorite ramen.
It depends on the figure, I suppose.
And I always tell people also, I have to let people know also that I'm in no shape, way, or form the best at it. Like I myself make mistakes. I accept critiques also. So it's like I'm not perfect. I mean, we all have our moments, but the whole thing is to help each other out. I was on a stream a Sunday night. I got invited to go on a live stream, and I mentioned about Moz's on Tuesdays, inviting people to come check out the show. And I was letting them know to put the hashtag and tag, but I also let them know, it's like, please don't take the critiques negatively. I was like, don't get hurt by it. I mean, we try to do positive critiques to help you improve if you can use the improvement. And sometimes we like to see you take what we tell you to do, redo the shot, and have it submitted again for the following week, and that way we can see your progression. Yeah. But I always have to let people know, it's like, I'm not saying that I'm a professional at this. I make my mistakes too. I was like, I'm still learning. I learn new things every day. So
just and it's easier. It's easier to critique others, from standing back from something than it is. It's hard to, after a while, it's hard to critique your own stuff.
Yes,
you have to. Yeah, and you're going to be good if you do, because but it's tougher. And when somebody's saying anything, I feel the same thing, man. I'm on ACBA. You put stuff up there. Somebody says any little thing about that. Yeah, that's great, but that guy's hand looks a little weird. Like, oh, there, you're like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, look at the rest of this thing. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're right. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. You can't hit every little piece, but
yeah.
And all our stuff is
sometimes we miss little things. Yeah. Like we don't catch it like until after we post it. Like that's happened to me numerous times. And then on Monday's upload of Artemis with the moose, something was bothering me about the shot, and I thought I posed her holding that bow incorrectly, and it was bothering the hell out of me that I had to go research how people shoot from the hip, and it's fine. The way I have her set up is fine. That's how some people do it from the hip. So I was like, oh, okay. But for a while, I was like, did I make a mistake by posting this shot? Because it was like, is someone gonna point out that, hey, you have her holding that bow and arrow wrong? Like, that's not the proper way to hold it. But no, that's actually it's fine. Some people do hold it that way to shoot from the hip.
As much as I love them, they're tough to pose with the bow and arrow because they don't have double jointed.
Yeah.
Chase Magnitude says, I gotta say, I like the critiques. It beats thumbs up and great shot. I need to improve.
I agree.
I'm not saying that though, but I noticed last week when I went back and watched it, I didn't take into account other people's positions, and I did say a few things off the cuff that I felt that probably were a little too heavy-handed, and I apologize for that. I don't. I was saying stuff in the hopes of just entertaining and not thinking about what it would mean to the person's whose stuff I was talking about. So with that, I need to do better to keep in mind and not let that get ahead of me.
Yep,
let's see. We have NYC Figure Fanatic.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Commander Green, of course, in the house.
Hey,
and those wonderful toys in the house. Both members. Now, for my members, I do want to point out, I've had the worst week. Like I said, COVID, I almost killed myself in a car wreck. I had the worst week. I'm sorry. I will get your member stuff out. What we're doing is I'm going to get you guys stuff out for Christmas and add a little extra something. All right. So I apologize for the members. Wait till Christmas. We'll get you sorted. I do apologize.
The man almost died. Give him a break. Come on now.
Man, just crazy, just nonstop.
And he's working for Target for the holidays, so
he beat death twice.
We got PS5s in. Anybody needs a PS5?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
we got God of War editions.
Hide one in the back, please.
Remember that headless horseman I got you?
I knew that was coming. I
don't even have time to play the Xbox that I have, man.
Well, it's because you have an Xbox. That's why.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, you better take it easy there, boss.
All right. I wanted to start with this one because I love this figure, and it's I took this one last night. I just got this figure yesterday, actually. This is the Mezco 112 John Constantine. I put this background here is I was using the Spider-Man PS4, but on the PS5. The Spider-Man PS4, the one with Peter Parker. I used the Harlem Cemetery for the background. These three here are all ones that I made with my new Proxxon cutter.
Very nice.
Here. This one is the one that came with my Mezco Michael Myers. That's Judith Myers. I thought it'd be a nice little Easter egg to have her name right there. So I lit it up just a little bit, so if you squint, you can see her name. Be like, ooh, just a little Easter egg.
Too bad it didn't say Martha.
That would be awesome. Oh my god!
You gotta Photoshop that out and put your logo on there. Right?
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That's good. Like you lit it just enough.
Spider-Man I'm working on. That's why I made these tombstones. These other three. So I got a Spider-Man one I'm working on. Maybe I'll add that next time.
Nice.
But with this one here, man, this Mezco figure is awesome. He comes with 3 heads No, 4. I'm sorry. He comes with 4 heads. And he comes with like a plethora of cigarettes. Oh my God. If you ever need cigarette props, I got like 20 cigarettes he comes with.
Nice.
I don't know why he needed 20 of them, but I think maybe if you want to do a scene where he's just got a bunch around by his feet because he just keeps smoking or something.
I do like that smoke effect that has the skull on it. That is impressive. They did that small little, effect on that. And I was like, it looks awesome. I was like, man, that'd be great to have close-up shots of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be working on. And then else, I was watching somebody's review, and he comes with a Winchester rifle, and you can put the cigarette in the barrel and make that smoke effect look like it's coming from the rifle.
Oh wow!
The cigarette fits in the barrel.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, holy Christ. But yeah, there's so much stuff I'm gonna do with this guy when I get the time. But I was so happy. I was telling you guys at the beginning before we started the stream that this skyline here was a happy accident. I was sitting there waiting for the game because on this version of the game you can't set the time, right? Because that's what I'm using, for and you can't be like I want it nighttime. It's just whatever time it is, and you gotta wait. The Miles Morales one I can set the time, but that's not the game I was in because I had to put the disc in. And I didn't want to be bothered with that. I was like,
so the background is a game.
The background is a game, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's all like this bit here, all the sky back here, the trees back here. This is in camera. This plant here, these tombstones in the foreground are in camera, but everything else is background. And this Hobby Lobby grass is like the best, man. I mean, it comes in rolls of grass, and it's like the perfect height for everything that I've tried to use it for. 6 scale, 12 scale. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's like an uncut kind of grass, just really nice. And if you're using it with a 6 scale, it's a cut grass. It's really nice. And that's dirt cheap, over at Hobby Lobby. It was literally maybe like $5 a roll, and it's like 2 feet long and about 1.5 feet wide per roll. I bought
that stuff for a shot.
Yeah, it's great. As far as the lights, Chase says, "Where were the lights? They're not reflected on the screen. How did you position them?" All right. I'm sorry I didn't. I really wanted to shoot behind the scenes, but I'd shot this right before dinner, and my wife likes to have the TV on watching shit during dinner. So I had to clean off this table that was in front of the TV. So I had a snoot up here, a Lume Cube snoot with a warm gel, and I had it pointing down, almost down, like straight like this, straight like if you follow the mouse, going straight like that. Yep. So I wanted to get the side of his face from the cigarette, the lighter, and of course you want to light all this area and get the top of the hand because this is going to cast all the top of the hand. I had another warm light back here, like behind this first tombstone, because obviously all the light's coming from back here on the screen. So I didn't want any light on the front of the tombstone. So I had a warm light coming from back here. And then I had just a little blue light just here, just to kind of bring out that. I mean, like I said, you can see it, but you can't. But just a little blue because the bounce card wasn't doing it quite enough. And I also had another bounce card over here because this light. No, I just had a bounce card over there just to catch anything and throw it back this way. I didn't have a light specifically pointed at it. Well, that's how the lighting went. And this, like I said, this was a happy accident because I was waiting for nighttime. I was like, we're gonna do a nice nighttime walking through a cemetery thing. And then I just did that whole, you're watching movie stuff, the filmmaker like that thing that's looking, gotta wait for the damn nighttime thing. And I'm like, you know what? That could be like early morning, like he just finished taking care of something in the graveyard and he's walking out. I was like, let's just go ahead and shoot it now. So I pulled Spider-Man out of the game because you can do that in photo mode. Just went, there you go. So yeah, I used Spider-Man for a lot of photos, Horizon Forbidden West for a lot of outdoorsy type stuff. I know if you want some good city stuff, also Cyberpunk's really good. And then now God of War's got photo mode, so maybe I can get some snow stuff going on too, because there's a lot of snow in that one. So, but yeah.
This works really well, man. The background, like it's like sunrise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like something just happened and it's had a long night and stuff like that. The fog is great on the tombstones. The tombstones look really, really good. Yeah, this is really nice, man. I mean, I would have cropped it a little tighter, maybe over on the left, but it's cinematic. I know you love the cinematic thing, and it works. It doesn't need to be. It certainly doesn't need to be. That's just again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, that would have been me. That's not me. You know what I mean? It's not wrong. It looks great. Just thinking, like, I don't know. There's not much I would change on this one. That was a really good shot. I really like the way you got depth on the different tombstones from the different depths away from the camera that they are. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know you want to try and get Judith there, which is good that wasn't just a big black blob too. Despite trying to get out the name on it, as long as that wasn't like the one on his right. There's enough definition on that you can see, the base of it and everything. You don't need to make it out. And then the rest of them look like you're really, and they are. I'm sure they're receding back at increments. But the fog, which is what's great about fog or atmosphere aerosol, is it gives you that depth that you can't really get without it.
That's actually vape, guys.
Really
it's not
I know you vape.
My vape. I have a fog machine, but again, I'm shooting this in the living room in front of the TV. I have a finite amount of time. I'm not going to sit there and wait for the fog machine to heat up and haul that back and forth and everything.
Moss likes to take chances with his health. You could use a fog machine.
Only my lungs.
You don't need your lungs. It's all right.
You got two of them.
You got two.
To be honest, all that fog machine juice that I'm breathing in, though, probably.
It's not any better. It's not any better.
But yeah, this figure is phenomenal. He comes with so much stuff. I mean, I'm only using the 3 props that come with him right now. I mean, he's got a knife, a gun, a chainsaw.
I think I'm gonna regret not picking this guy up. I wasn't a big Constantine. I liked Constantine in the Sandman comics.
Yeah,
that was my introduction to him. And then I did read the Constantine comics themselves. But I was like, at the time I was like a Mezco, like I'm done with Mezco. I'm not going to get, and then I continued to get Mezco stuff. But
I think the shop I ordered him from, they still have them at retail if you're interested in them.
I'm thinking about, I might pick it up after. Yeah, I might pick it up.
Let me know and I'll send you a link.
Yeah, for sure.
They get it out to me. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on this one. I was pretty happy with this one. This is a great use of a really good background. I think I had enough
a gorgeous shot
in there to really sell it, to get that depth so it didn't look weird. And I was really happy with the happy accident of that golden hour. It was like the perfect, like just dawn, like the sun is just coming up. It's not a harsh light at all yet. I was like,
do you ever is that like, are the games the main source of your digital backgrounds? Like, I know you don't use digital backgrounds too much.
Games,
little slivers of them.
If I do a cityscape, like if I go back to one of my turtles, like a cityscape, that's Spider-Man. I'm running around with Spider-Man.
Do you have to go through the game and kind of play it and say, "Ooh, there you go"? Or now, do you? I know. All right, it's been a while. I know there's a whole photo mode and everything in there. You can just literally walk around and take pictures. But do you take them and save them? Like you think, "Ooh, that could be good for a shot," and save them later on, or do you literally just go through the game before you're doing a shot and find a background?
I have a hard time working with an image that's frozen in place. The nice thing about the video game and the photo mode is I can play with the perspective. I'm not
move around
this one angle where now I'm not in the right perspective with the figure, and that's just never going to work, right? What I do is, I just traverse through the game because I've beaten it. Both all the games that I'm playing around on, I either beaten it or I can get anywhere I want to get to, and I'll I just Google, is there a cemetery in Spider-Man? Because I wanted him in a cemetery. Not that you could really see any of the tombstones and stuff that were in the game here. I mean, you see a little bit of this mausoleum here. That's about it, right? But it worked. It got me just the perfect skyline. It just works. So, and then I could, of course, play with that perspective and make sure my ground matches up with the perspectives on the buildings and the trees, and because that's the huge thing.
Okay.
When I use a static background, is getting that ground to line up properly with the feet of the figure and that perspective. That's why I like the video games. You can move that camera anywhere.
Yeah. So and this is one of the things that I like for most people who are doing this as a hobby. They don't care, but I use like stock photography that I pay for, so you have the rights to use it. And I posted something later on. We'll look at that. uses it, but I try to keep it to like 20 to 30% of the image, like you did here. This is the same thing. This is maybe 35% of the shot. You know what I mean? Back, and it's so out of focus that there's no way in hell that anybody could ever tell that this came from.
You can't tell what that's from at all.
Specifically, no, that's so like obscure that you wouldn't be able to tell it. But there are times when I see people use like stock photography or something they found from Google. It's very much a big part of the image, and they basically put a figure in front of a background. I would say, again, we've said this a million times, use, like you did here, use a foreground where that Judith Myers headstone, a background, and your figure's in the midground, and then your background is the screen. And that's going to give you that depth, and it's going to also, cut out some of that, because you're using somebody else's work. You know what I mean? Right. Not you in this case. You're really not. I mean, you are technically, but like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
You can even make it out. Yeah.
If you go and you just have somebody else's work back there, is that really your shot? Is it really your photo? If there's a lot of it, a big part of it is, say, a scene from Lord of the Rings, and you've got like a hobbit in the front of it. It's like, try to crop it and use a little less of it by using props and things like that. So.
One of the big problems I've noticed when you're trying to use a background and you don't have any foreground elements is even though you may have a bokeh effect because you're focused on your foreground element and your background is now bokeh, it's all bokeh at the same rate because it's a flat screen.
Exactly.
You're not getting.
And you've got things in depth in that picture that aren't showing in depth. There's the tree in the foreground of the picture, and then there's a building in the background, but they're all at the same depth in your camera, and they're all at the same blur level. So like it doesn't give you what you want. You don't.
So regardless of what you're shooting and how much of the screen you're using, having any other foreground elements besides your subject is going to help sell that, regardless of how much. I mean, I really don't want to take all this time, but here's a great example where you don't have to do that. Where there's a very few set examples where you don't have to do it. And
a close, tight portrait shot where you've just got some elements in the background. You're obviously so focused.
Here.
Yeah, like this, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you're tight on the figure, and this is almost perpendicular, like straight across. Almost, there's not a lot of depth in the subject of the background.
Right,
it's almost like a flat thing, but
right.
That's where it can work. But yeah, otherwise, it's really tough.
Portraits, because you're so tight in that you're really not going to see much depth of it.
Yeah.
In the background, no matter what it is, really.
This one doesn't quite work, even though I had a foreground element here, like a further up element. It's just so bokeh out; it just looks very flat behind there. So, and I of course cropped out my ledge.
That's what I was going to say.
So, yeah,
but it could have worked. I think it could have worked. This should have been like a portrait or something. I think, or a little more square.
I should have, could have, would have, but I didn't.
Live and learn. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me get to all this stuff here. All right. Let me refresh this. Yo, Adrian. And of course, yes, guys, don't forget it was Commander Green's birthday just recently.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Harold.
Good stuff.
Chase Magnitude says that a couple shot.
People are like 50 because like that makes me feel better.
I'm 50. What'd you say about 50?
Yeah, no,
I'm climbing right up there, man. I'm right there with you guys. Just a year off.
Somebody's watching Halloween in the background.
At a couple of shots, I just give a shout out to the person whose image I used. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a proper PlayStation guy. I don't have an Xbox anymore. Not since the Xbox 360 have I had an Xbox. Let's go to tag.
Nothing wrong with Xbox. Except you can't play Spider-Man.
It's just the games, man. I
know you can't play Spider-Man. That's the whole reason I wanted to get Xbox years ago, and I never did. So.
Well, God of War.
A PlayStation. I mean,
God of War was my PlayStation. I was like, I need whatever console I'm playing. I need my God of War. Because I've been playing it since the PS2. God of War, man. Love God of War. Spider-Man was just a happy accident. Salvage Cargo is the first up for today. We got Salvage Cargo, DC Multiverse, Ghostmaker. I love it when you guys tell me what figure you're using. I love it because I may want to buy the figure. It's great. This almost reminds me of like Assassin's Creed, whoever this guy is. But yeah. Mike, you've been so quiet. I want you to go first.
Right on. What's going on, Salvage Cargo? Good to see you, man. Yeah, let me put my screen on bigger here. That's just.
What are you doing that?
Okay. It's a McFarlane toy. Okay, right on. The first thing that grabs my attention really is the texture of the figure, and being a McFarlane, I can, they do have a lot of texture in their figures. They don't always pose that well, but this one here, my first question would really be, why the crop at the feet and the cape tip? There's room on top, and I know I say that a lot, but in this case, I just wonder why was the choice to crop that right there. And that would be my first thing, and then I think my second thing would be I personally would like a little bit more highlight on the armor that he's wearing. I'm not sure what that's called, but there's a lot of black there that gives room. There are some highlights. But I don't know if you could get them in camera or if you did them in post, maybe with a Dodge burn. But just a little bit more highlight to give some shape to the dark armor. And that would be my two main things with this image. Other than that, it's a fine image. It's a great looking figure. I just would like to know why the crop was right there. And that's it, man. But good job aside from that. Yeah, great job.
Yeah, I like the composition. I like kind of the that corner piece in there, and then the sword coming. It kind of all directs your eye right to the figure. It frames it a little bit. Mike, if you're referring to I don't know the colors in the back, if that's supposed to be like a futuristic cityscape, I guess. It looks to me like there's it's like sunset or something, and I don't know. It's hard to tell, but because it's so bokeh out, but. A little light coming from that right side, camera right, on his back would have sealed that background. It really would have married it with the background really well. And yeah, the foot cut is unfortunate. I think you could just put really anything. You don't need much in the way of a dio or anything like that. You could have put his foot up on a block or really anything to make it look like. I'm assuming he's standing on a building over a city. Am I looking at this wrong? I mean, right?
No, that's what it looks
like.
No,
you got it right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think just like Mike said, not cropping the feet. Watch. If you Google, I don't know what you Google, photography cropping rules. And again, rules are meant to be broken, but there are some things that you probably shouldn't do. There you will find a body image somewhere on there that'll show you red lines of where don't crop here. You can crop here. You can crop at the thigh. If you had cropped it a little higher at his mid calf, that probably would have been okay. It's just when you crop a foot at an ankle or at a joint, it's usually not the best thing. Yeah. So that's just a rule to live by. But it's a great composition. The figure looks good. It's nice and sharp on the face.
Yeah,
it looks good. Yeah.
Super sharp. Mm-hmm. Super sharp.
Pablo muted himself. Is that right? Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, some company.
So he's got tied up right now.
Salvage. I'll jump into this while Pablo's occupied here. So yeah, you're obviously you're rocking the screenshot background, just like we were just discussing. In this instance, you need some more foreground elements because this background is looking very flat. It's just you can almost tell it's a screen, and I know this is a process. It took me the longest time. I'm still not 100% at it. Trevor's probably the best person to talk to about it as far as what I've seen from his work and etc. But with that being said, you have the hints of the proper lighting on him, but you need to bring this light around the front side of the figure. He's very dark here, and that might even be for the scene, but it's almost like the way it's coming off is like the light is being cast from the screen behind him, but there's no light in the front to give him any kind of life. So he's falling into the wrong type of shadow. We'll just put it that way. If you want a shadow, you need to at least force some of that light around him to kind of bring him in. As I mentioned before, you want to like kind of hug him with some light to bring him into that picture. I'm not saying like 100% light him like full on, but you need to get that atmospheric light to come around him, and the best way to do that is to get a little bit of rim lighting over here, just to kind of come around his arm some. Same thing on this side. You want to get that rim light so it looks like the light's coming around like with ambient lights instead of just.
It's a tough one because it looks to me like it's again you're like down an alleyway of buildings of skyscrapers and there's sunlight hitting that building right there, which would be coming from the other side. It would be coming from over there, and that should probably be hitting him on his right. Our left, yeah. You just gotta think about the way you want it to. It's in an environment, you know what I mean? Yes, there could be a building that he is like, to his right that is blocking that sunlight from coming in, but the reflection of that sunlight on those buildings, their gleaming buildings, would be hitting him at least on the back and giving him rim light on his back. So just think about it as like not just a flat background behind it, but what's happening if he was actually in that environment. You got to think about the light that's being created. I do this all the time. You either have to go through hundreds of pictures to find something that matches the light that you want to use, or you kind of have to compromise a little bit with the light that the background is creating. Like if there's sunlight over here, I'm doing this off camera, but if there's sunlight over here, you can't have a bright light coming from the other side because you want to light this guy from over here. You either got to flip that picture, or you've got to light it from over here where the sun is coming from. It's just that's the thing about using digital backgrounds. If you don't create them yourself, you have to kind of compromise a little bit and try to match that, or otherwise it's going to look like Maz said, a screen behind the figure, basically.
Yeah. Too, there's a tool that you can use to help with this. It's people call it different things, but basically it's a V board. It's a flat. It's just a piece of foam board in the shape of a V. I mean, that's it. And if you just Google backlit photos, backlit portraits, and just kind of look and see what backlit photos look like. Backlit photos usually are backlit, but a photographer will add bounce to the front from the natural light source, in this case, which would be what's behind him, that orange and blue, that would actually bounce back for fill in a portrait and in real life photography. So that might be helpful too. Just
talking about something
Google,
like this.
Google that. There you go, man. Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So two sides, you can,
and you've got both sides,
gold, gold,
yeah.
black.
You've got both sides. Good stuff.
Yeah. Are those up on your store on your link tree?
I think so. Yeah, they're on my Amazon. Yeah.
So, seriously though, guys, he's got his
not really why I did it.
Link tree, and information is down below in the details. So
please, if you want to buy them from there, please do.
Please do.
Probably get a whole 3 cents from that sale. So.
Yeah, you got a bit of that blue, I think.
Yeah, he has a little bit of the blue on there, but he needs a little bit of the orange on the other side, just a little bit, just to at least around where the arm, not too much, just because that light should be bouncing back on him regardless of if
that is a hot light, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
But it's a cool shot.
It should be bleeding over him. Like you'd see some of that light coming over his cape and on his hat. Like it would be pretty hot, I think.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that 6 Scale Steve says, I really enjoyed Mike's recent tutorial on snow and his Jason Voorhees shot. Recommended watching.
Yes, recommended.
Thanks, 6 Scale. Thanks, 6 Scale. I appreciate it.
Check that
perfect.
I think with the holidays, I think we need to do, maybe next week we'll do a snow episode. We'll just like working with snow.
There you go.
I got a nice snow medium that I like to use. I know you got stuff that you like to use. And maybe we'll go over that.
Okay. Right on. Thanks, 6 Scale. Appreciate it.
Also, guys, real quick tangent. I was reminded me today because I was talking to a customer at work. I don't know if you guys have seen this piece.
Yep, from McFarlane. Oh. There it goes.
Before it was
he doesn't fly. He doesn't fly.
So retail, this guy went for $50, but Mike, not just my Target, but all Target's clearance to Howdy is $14 right now.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
So that's why I wanted to bring
cool
it to your
thing on the
attention.
shelf.
You
Yeah,
guys
I
want a
love that.
Kevin Conroy, animated Batman figure. The problem is, though, as you see, this cape is not posable. It's just But again, at $15, I was like, I'll bite that.
I'm surprised they didn't include just the soft goods cape like they did with the
I
year 2 Batman.
I hope maybe there would be one in there, but no. And it goes all the way up, so I think you'd have to take the head off, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
oh, that's right. I forgot that cape is attached to his shoulders.
yeah.
No.
No, you can pull it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind then. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't include the soft goods just like they did with the year 2 Batman.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get a custom cape or something for this guy and try that.
It's a cool backdrop, though. That diode, you could even does the lightning come off, or is it all glued together?
Hold on, let me give you guys the camera again.
Oh, there's a light in there too.
It's like it's glued down there pretty well, and there's blue lights in the floor.
I was gonna say it almost would work with like a Miles Morales that style of building, you know what I mean? But you'd have that lightning, and those two buildings are so iconic that everybody would look at it and go, "Oh, that's Batman."
But I just got reminded of it because a customer was in the store today, and I noticed that he was buying NECA figures, so we started geeking on about figures, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we had this thing in here at clearance," and he's like, "What?"
Wow. And, that's a good price, actually. $14. I think I might just actually.
That tells you how much they mark stuff up, huh?
Just like I got this guy on clearance. This is the Amazing Fantasies Marvel Legends.
Cost.
I would have bought that. See, we don't have any Spider-Mans here, man. I mean, none.
Well,
not even
I
Marvel
kind of
Legends
on this one, and guys, don't tell it, but it was in the back, and the guy, putting them out knew that I liked this stuff, and he's like, "Hey, man, did you want this?" I was like, "Ooh." He's like, "Yeah, it's on clearance." I was like, "Ooh."
Ooh,
so
even better.
He's like, "When are you going to lunch? I'll put it out then."
Nice.
See, it's all this insider shit, man. This is why we can't get.
We can't get nothing. Right. Can't get nothing, man.
All right, now I know who to get after.
Hey, but when there was a whole other Batman on the floor, I didn't touch, man. We had two of them we put out. I don't know.
Nobody wants that Batman.
Nobody wants that Batman.
Yeah, somebody bought it shortly after.
No, that's cool.
Salvage cargo, we got it again, man. A lot of the same points, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. You did a great job here. Here, I feel that you were pulling this into that background. It looks like because you get the light kind of matching up on it here. I like the way this is looking, and it's got depth because you've got such a short depth of field here, so it is falling back there. It's allowing it to get pulled into your background, which is awesome. You got some foreground elements here, which I feel is helping to sell it. You need a few more mid-ground. And I say mid-ground, I mean between him and the backdrop, just to sell more of that depth.
Yeah.
But is there anything different that you guys want to mention here?
This is two in a row, though. If you had that background, I don't know if it's a TV that you've got on or a monitor or whatever, if there's different settings for brightness and contrast and stuff, if you bring that down, that's also even just doing the reverse. You don't want to get it too dark, but it's going to blend it in a little bit better. I think if you brought the brightness down on the monitor and bring some light up on the figure a little bit, or even just a bounce card here would have been enough. I think.
Yeah, I think the bounce card would be enough.
And bringing the contrast up and the brightness down on this background image, you would have married the environment that he's in with the background. It's just a matter of making him look like he's standing in that light. And it's just...
Well, you see here though, this is a perfect example of why I try not to use static backgrounds. You see how the perspective's off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's not a deal breaker. You could get around this one, but here's just an example of what I was talking about. That's why I like
tough with perspective backgrounds.
I could move that camera angle and get that perspective right in the video game, whereas a Googled or stock image, you got what you got. And
but then you can move the figure, you can prop it up on one side or whatever. It's a little tricky, but it can be done.
Any other comments on this one, or should we move?
No, I think it's
good job, Salvage. Good job.
Yes, good job. It was a good shot.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us, Salvage. I really appreciate it. Just get yourself a bounce on this side. I think you've been pretty good. Let's see what we got next here. More salvaged.
Oh,
all right.
This one's actually lit a little better.
Yeah. He's definitely brighter. You can see. I like how you lit up the face here. Go ahead, Pablo. Go ahead.
Is this a dial?
It's one of the McFarlane, the Blackest Nights figures.
No, but the diorama
looks like a dio. This actually looks like he's got it in an environment, which is, I think.
No, it looks kind of Photoshoppy, kind of like the colors are like.
Yeah, there's no depth. There's no difference in depth. Yeah, you're right.
But the colors are matching.
The colors match, and the lighting on him blends in better with the background, with the environment. Like the especially the blue light really matches up with the blue light that's in the back.
But this blue light here.
But that I was about to say, is that a reflection of the light that he's using? I wonder, because it looks like a glare more than.
But he could have worked that too. But he needed to light up more of this.
Yeah. The pose is pretty cool. I do like the pose.
Again, there's if you're using digital backgrounds, there's stuff called Cinefoil.
Yeah.
Which you can get on Amazon, also on my Amazon page, by the way.
I'm using your Amazon. When I get rich, make $1 million, and buying your lights.
But it is flat. Is basically flat black, thick tin foil that you can wrap around any light and just block it, flag it in photography terms, from hitting that digital background. It'll still you can still aim it at your figure, but it won't hit the backdrop, which is
it's like ghetto barn board.
It's but it's better. I mean, yes, but it is like, even when I'm using barn doors on like a Loom Cube, there's times I have to wrap it because even those barn doors have
there's still a sliver of light that comes out.
Sliver of light that comes through them, so you really have to close it off completely. And like I'm using soft boxes. I know everybody isn't using that, but like you really have to block that because they come out very far over the scene.
Yeah,
and it's the point when you get down low at an angle. In fact, the shot I have later, like I couldn't figure out where the hell the light was coming from. It's driving me crazy.
So. I need a good softbox for my photography, and I'm hoping to. The problem is I want one where I can play with the brightness on it, and a lot of them are just turn on or off.
No, there's one on my Amazon page.
But I can play with the brightness. It's not just on and off.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
How many millions of dollars is it?
No, it's not. It's a very cheap one, and there's panels now that are much better too.
Trevor,
like LED panels and stuff.
Oh yes, I love this shot.
You got the moose. Thomas Williams is in the house, by the way, real quick. Just spray painting tinfoil with flat spray paint works too.
It does,
but after a while, if you
it cracks.
It'll crack and it'll chip, and then you have little flakes of paint everywhere. It's like unless you know that you're gonna keep the shape of that foil that you're gonna spray paint, then that'll work. But if you're gonna manipulate it.
In a pinch, but then you have to spray it and wait for it to dry. In a pinch, it can work. The Cinefoil is not expensive, and that roll, I swear to God, like if it's like $20, $25, that roll will last you the rest of your natural life, because like you can save it, and it'll get crinkly, and it'll eventually like start to like on the bends like crack and stuff like that. But my God, you can use it for so long. I mean, so long, a piece of that stuff. So yeah, but in a pinch, yes, absolutely.
That shot is so clean.
It is.
And this is
that moose looks real. The moose looks real.
I got a BTS if you want to see the
screen background. Like the ultimate background is a screen, right? Like the very back.
Yeah. So let me, if you don't mind me sharing, I can show you. I forgot. I don't know why I didn't put the BTS up on here, but I didn't. So
probably the same reason I did. The wife wanted to watch TV while we had dinner.
Nah, I took it, but okay. So I don't know if you can zoom in on that at all. I'm not really sure.
If anybody can, it's gonna be you. This is. I mean, if I switch it here, it gets a little bigger.
Oh, you're right. Hang on. Let me see.
How about this?
There we go. Right, that's working. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. So you can see where the background is. This is the TV. So this has got trees in the background. Luckily, they're very much straight up and down trees. These things I bought from somebody. This is I'm planning on doing a video on this. I'm going to talk a little about this. This is like hot glue on just like streams of hot glue, like all up and down these things.
Yeah, I'd love a video on that because I love the texture you got. That bark texture is a lot better than what I've
I didn't make these, but I have made trees like this, and it works really well. Anyway, so you can see the buildup of depth, like the trees in front of this. When you look at the final shot, the background, and this is what I try to do, any digital background I use, I want it to be like 30% max visible in the shot. I want like other things in front of it. It's just supporting background. I can't possibly have all those trees and all those leaves and plants and stuff back there. So that just supports that background. The same with like a cityscape. Like you're going to have like some buildings, and in the background you can't possibly have 50 other buildings back there to like support your dial or whatever. And in the middle, there's cheap trees I bought from Target. Right now is a great time to find like pine tree stuff, you know, real cheap stuff in the front of Target. Those leaves up on top that are just hanging over the trees. You don't see them in the shot. You don't see the way they're hanging. You just see leaves coming down from the trees, which works. Are just like aquarium decoration things. And that's it. And then the only other thing I point out with stuff like this is you can see like certain characters that are up on top of cardboard. You can see these plants that are in these 1, 2, 3 metal pieces. Make it work for the shot. You know, that you're looking through the camera and like it works. Like the one guy in front, the elf in front, is very weirdly, he's almost like the silly walk from Monty Python, if anybody remembers that. It's a weird position for his legs, but he's positioned right for the shot because you don't see anything more than his torso. So, you know, to be afraid to frame something up and then just put things in positions where they work. You know what I mean? Off camera stuff doesn't even matter. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's good to frame your stuff while you have your camera on. That way you can see that way you can see what it's gonna look like in your shot. I know a lot of the ACBA guys preach that a lot, that, you know, you want to try to frame your shot in camera already. Just like have your camera on and then just start putting your elements in there, your figure, how you're going to pose it. That way you can see what it's going to look like in the shot already.
Yep.
And that's a good way. Yep. I sometimes do it. And sometimes I don't, but the majority of my time I do that. I try to frame everything in the camera. That way I know exactly where the figure is going to be, where the foreground elements are at, where the background elements are at.
Exactly.
That way you already have a sense of what you're going to capture. You don't have to go and, you know, reset things up. You already know exactly.
And then you're exactly right. Then you're positioning things for the photograph to look correct in the photograph that you're taking. Because if you just set things up like, hey, this is cool, this tree will go here, and that tree will go there, and this guy will go here, and this guy will go there, and then you put the camera down and go, okay, let me see if I can make this work. They all look great on the table, but the shot is either boring or, you know, this guy looks awkward in this position. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what's happening. If you frame it up, meaning look in the camera and get the shot that you want, you can back it up a little bit if you want some extra breathing room, you know what I mean? Like for, you know, just for cropping purposes or whatever, but center it around, just like Pablo says, center it around what you're looking at through the lens, because that is the shot. You know what I mean? That's what you want it to. So if there's a tree that's like at the edge of the panel, and it would look better if you moved it in a little bit and gave a little background at the edge of the panel, you know, or vice versa, you know, that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's how.
Trevor, this stone you got this one guy on, is that a?
That is a no. That is a fucking rock that is very heavy. I have not taken the time to make foam rock, stupidly, because I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently.
That's a great looking rock, man. I was like, man, I need a rock like that.
Yeah, that was literally some thing I found in the backyard when we moved in the house. They had taken some, I don't know, I don't even know if these were pavers or something out, and I found a bunch of good ones and then tossed out the rest or whatever. Plus, save all your cardboard from your IKEA details.
I was gonna say, I recognize that. I recognize that cardboard.
I have pallets of that cardboard because it's freaking awesome. Very strong, and it just, you can cut it up to any size you want, and it's excellent. And the little 1, 2, 3 blocks there that are the metal things in the foreground holding the ferns. Those things are fantastic.
Yeah, I got 4 of those.
I need to get some more of those.
You can put stands through them, and they will hold stands down. Like you can have somebody up in the air
because
on a flimsy stand, and it'll hold it right in place.
Yeah, they're decently heavy. Yeah, they're decently heavy. Yeah, it'll hold the figure surprisingly. Yeah,
they're only like 2 pounds, really, but they're dense. Which now I had a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Above on the top left here, that's your softbox up here. I can't see what you're pointing. And then you have another softbox to the left side pointing in. So you got two.
Yeah,
softboxes?
I haven't used two softboxes in a while, but this kind of required. I think I turned that one down a lot eventually. I don't think this was the final shot, but you can see in the background again. I picked this background. I like the misty look, and it matched the trees that I had and stuff. There's not a lot that you can see in the final shot. We'll go back to that in a minute, but there was light coming from the left hand side, so I wanted to try and match that. I usually use a loom cube as a sun
just to get that nice hot light you got
hot light on Alithia and the moose, like that hits her as if it's coming through the leaves, but it's not just one light. The sun just doesn't want to create one beam of light. It lights up the sky. So you have to have
hotter section. Let me bring this one back up. So
you can see
here, giving it that nice overheat bit, which is the sun.
That's where the sun is about 11 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. That's what it is. Yeah.
Right, I'll bring that back up now. I just wanted to.
And then there's things like the white cards on the floor there that just bounce the light underneath the moose's chin because it was getting a little dark under there. I mean, bounce cards don't have to be just to the left or the right. It could be underneath. Yep. Mike knows that with portrait photography. Sometimes you have people hold a card right underneath their face to light that up right underneath there.
Right there. I did it on that Spider-Man shot, the one that the background didn't really work on, but
he's
standing on top of a white card.
You do it all the time. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, Lou in the house.
What's going on, Lou?
Popping people. Start late.
Hey, what's up, man?
Lou, man. All right, so we're done with that one. We'll move on, I guess. This is a beautiful shot.
Well, I want to hear it. Anybody have anything to say? Or
yeah,
I want to say how do you do it because I want to do it like you do it.
Yes, I agree with you, Maz.
I'm just happy I was able to get a moose. Two, actually. I have two now. So
that's one for me. Because I need one to go with this guy right here. I need one to go with this one.
Well, hold on. Let me get you this.
That's the Santa Claus.
Father Christmas, baby. Father Christmas.
Nice.
And I got my coffee mug too. So
nice.
I'm just happy.
I will say that I'm
John Constantine.
Go ahead, Mike. I want to hear Mike.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Trevor. One thing I really like is that soft light does that moose such awesome. I mean, it just makes it awesome because you can't really tell that it's a toy at all. That lighting choice and that, I mean, you can't tell. I mean, he looks real. The antlers, the way they pick up the highlighting on the edges, and they've got that green in there. I mean, that's a great looking shot, man. Real nice.
So in the softbox up on the top, the main softbox, there's a green gel in there. So it's like
cast the green on the side here, like
exactly. So like you're in a canopy of trees, but I mean it's not realistic. But I have this thing where I like to do sort of a painterly fantasy thing. Like it would be a little green, but not really in real life. It wouldn't really
not to this point, but the green leaves do act like their own, like a natural gel in the environment. I mean,
to some degree, exactly, some degree. So I take a lot of that back in post. I mean, sometimes it gets oversaturated, and you can take some of that saturation in the green back. If you use Lightroom, and I know a lot of people are not to that level yet, but you can actually play with the colors and dial down the green in places. And I'm going to actually I'm going to do a video about this, and I'm going to focus on post-processing because I did this like 5 times, and I post-processed it differently each time. And I finally came to this point. So you'll see like mistakes I made and things. So, it's not always.
You don't make mistakes. What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do. All the time. All the time.
I mean, you did cut off this, this puck's feet here, and I know Mike's losing his mind.
Shut up. That's a hook.
It's not cut off. It's down at an angle. It's not cut off. It's your vantage point. It's there.
And he's not the focus.
Don't have feet. Mike is losing his mind.
You're so mean, Maz. I'm never coming back.
Now, I did want to ask on your antlers on the moose. Does only one antler have a black wash and the other one doesn't?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Because on both my mooses, on both of them, the left side has a slight wash on it, and the other antler does not. So I need to go put a wash on it.
Dude, I would be livid, man, if I bought something like that.
What? It kind of is a little different between the two, man.
It is. I wasn't sure whether...
There's a wash. There's a little bit of a wash on the right.
Yeah.
The left is a little bit more. That's interesting. It must have gone through two different lines.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, I need to ask Trevor whether his moose is the same, because both of them on mine are exactly like that. I was like,
That's wild, man. One more thing I want to point out about this compositionally, like the antler comes down, and this is a purposeful choice, comes down to the face of the moose, and then the face of the moose comes down through the faces of those two elves, and everything, and including the little goat guy in the back, kind of surrounds what's her name? Jesus.
Yeah, her name's not Jesus.
Artemis.
Artemis, of course.
She's the focus of the shot. So you can see that she has the most contrast. She has the most light on her. So it's just, that's part of the.
She might be the focus, but this moose is what's stealing the show for me, man.
I know. You can't.
Oh, it is.
It's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
The texture in those antlers.
Yeah,
great,
that moose is fantastic.
The lighting
This guy's killed this figure, man. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing.
And I thought it was the same height as the horses, but he's actually taller.
Yeah, because they changed the lower limbs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is gorgeous. We're gonna move on though, so we get to some of the viewers here.
Yes.
Local Luke, you're a participant today.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna keep this. I'm just kidding.
This is popping.
Dude, tell us about this, man. Tell us about this.
Dude, I did this shot yesterday and I didn't post it. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't post it. I want to go and try to, do a little after effects and see if I could do something commemorating the first day of snow here in New York today.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yes,
I know, right?
So, I love it when it's snowing around the holidays.
Me too.
Just a little bit. I just hate
want to
move
it. North just so I get holiday snow, man, because I'm in Georgia and I get holiday icing, maybe.
Well,
yeah.
We still have 80-degree weather here.
It's Texas. Kiss mine, all right. Kiss my show. Kiss my show.
No, I hate the fact that we have 80-degree weather. I want it cold.
Yeah.
Come visit New York
next week, Lou.
It's cold enough.
Next week, Lou.
I love what you did here, Lou, man. I really did, man. This is a great. And I love this light. I don't know where this light's supposedly coming from, but I love it. I like that hot light, like it's maybe a searchlight from a helicopter,
it's like a street light or something. Yeah.
It's a little high for a street light. It's more like a helicopter light if you want to go that route.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And you got a lens flare here too. Was that in post? This lens flare?
The water, everything there except for the snow and the light is in post.
Okay, like but this light is casting a lens flare. You see that?
The lens flare I added later.
That's in post.
Yeah,
well, we did a great job with it. I like it.
Thank you. I was trying to get like this swoosh motion of like snow is coming. It hasn't stuck yet, but it's coming, and they're in the high altitude, so that means the wind is blowing everywhere, and they're running. So you see Leo jumping off of one rooftop to land into another one, while the ninja is looking at his six, ready to take out and draw his katana, and fun in New York.
This is a great use of the snow. I love the movement you got in the snow. The only thing I could suggest, as far as and it's really to do with the snow, and I don't know if it's because you use like a phone app to do all this editing, so I don't know how limited or unlimited you are, but I feel that you needed one more layer of snow that was behind everything, like just really bulk it out, just to give it some depth to that snow field. At least one more layer. Maybe even two, and just kind of way I do it when I have to put in something like this, I do a top layer, a middle layer, and a back layer, just to give that depth to all of that stuff going on. But
if you can find, there's you might be able to Google this, but I know it's on the stock photo sites, like just snow on black background, and you can get some shots of people that have taken like just outside, like shots of snow with depth already there. So some of them are closer, some of them are further away, and it's on black. And then you can just screen those, or there's different modes in Photoshop. and then take out anything that's supposed to be, in the background. It's a painstaking process that are on a foreground figure, but that really gives you that depth, man. It really works really well. But dude, I love the composition of this, man.
This isn't bad though. I mean, just staring
at
it.
No, it works. I think it works.
Yeah. You first look at it, you don't really see a depth problem. I'm just saying in the future though, if you want to.
And then there's little pieces that like in the background look like they're a little more out of focus than the foreground.
Yeah.
So it works.
Like it's not huge. It's just something maybe to try if you can push it a little further next time. Because I like what you're doing here.
I wasn't trying to push it further because if you look at the shot, there's no snow on the floor. There's nothing grabbing on anything. It's just happened.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get that.
You get me? So that's what I was going for because
there's no reflection of light on the floor, on the ground, or anything like that.
Yeah, like nothing on the gargoyle that's right in front of you. There's nothing on the rooftop. You don't see actual build up.
No build on the water tower or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so it's like just happened.
Your lighting is on point. I love the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting is fantastic, man.
My favorite thing about this is the composition. The fact that you're on the thirds, you know what I mean? Like perfectly, his head is right there on that little, point of the thirds. For the most part, it's I don't know if you got it's just nice. It's nice that you didn't center this or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's got a nice.
I was trying to go away from the center and more like what's happening versus who's there. You can see who's there.
And even though you've got a bright spot over on the right camera, the highest point of contrast, again, look at it. It's his face. Who's that? This is Leonardo, right? Not Leonardo.
Yeah, not Leonardo.
Not Leonardo.
It's Spring.
Spring.
Right. Spring's face has got a nice point of contrast right there. And that's where your eye goes right to that point. So it's very good.
Yeah, this is a beautiful shot, Lou. I think this is one of my favorites you've done so far.
And I do want to give you props for revisiting that first shot you did. That second shot had so much drama to it. It was awesome. And I love that you added a secondary light, which was, that came out fantastic, man.
Thank you. Like we all here to learn. Yeah, we take cheap shots every now and then, for fun and shits and giggles, but this is a guy show, you know what I mean? We're going to do that. But at the same time, you have to pick up and advance. And with the app that I've been using, I'm able to go in here and touch up certain things. So if I have a direct light hitting, I could put a hot spot if I wanted to. I've been playing around with the app a little bit more, trying to add more oomph to the shot because I have limited resources, but with the app, I could always take that limited resources and just make it like if it was a production shot, or at least get close enough to be like 1/6 scale shooter. You know what I mean? 1/6 shooter over here, Trevor over here, the master over here.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a moose, he says.
Nope, you can't. But once you buy that one moose, you're gonna fall down that rabbit hole with this.
Oh no! I said
the moose hole.
I only got one troll.
That didn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Sorry. No, sorry. I'm sorry about that.
But Lou, I got my second Leo coming. He should be here Saturday.
Nice.
5K Toys released more to sell, so I ordered one from them.
Such
this
a good
time.
figure, man. I can't wait for the rest.
You got one, right, Trevor? You did order one?
I did, yeah. Nice. I am not a turtle guy, but I love that thing.
Yeah, not either.
Pre-order on Gun Damn It right now, which is where I got my first Leo from, as well as Master Splinter and the other one.
Autumn, which is not Donnie, and the Master, and the accessory pack is on there also. All for $1 deposit right now on gundammit.com.
Which is where I ordered my first Leo, and like I said, he got here fine. In fact, he got here before the 5K toy stuff got.
Yes, he did, and I'll be joining on the train tomorrow, ordering from them. And
I even pre-ordered that not Tiger Claw also from them.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I ordered mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and
I would cancel that one and go over there because Big Bad Toys, they have it over $100. With them, it's under $100. I forgot how much it is, but it's cheaper with them.
All right.
Even 5K Toys has it for cheaper than BBTS right now.
I couldn't see 5K Toys with the tiger. Not
you
tiger.
have to when you do the search, you have to type in Furay on the search, and it'll bring up anything that they have under Furay. And
all they have is the Tiger and Leo so far on their site because I've been looking for.
They also have the hunter, the crocodile hunter guy, the Crocker, whatever his name is.
I'm still waiting for Big Bad Toy Store to come up with theirs, man. Like, I like that repaint. I like the money jacket.
The money jacket, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on, guys. Unless there's any more we want to talk about with Lou's shot here. Casper.
Wow.
The one of many he posted today or on the Moz.
Some old school, Mattel looking He-Mans, but I think they're Super 7 or reissues or whatever. The fakers, they got a bend in the elbow, that's for damn sure. Which the OG He-Mans don't have. I see this is a lot of Mr. Lee and Pablo influence here. So Pablo, let's go to it.
It's a cool composite. It is a cool composite.
I need to bring up that background, man.
Yeah, I know he's limited on what he's using, which for him to be able to do this with the app that he's using is pretty good. So I give him that. I was telling him once he can get to a point where he can get Photoshop again, I would start lighting up the background. Start putting some gradients in the back just to separate the figures more from the background.
Yeah, because you lose them here. I mean,
but I mean, so far I do like his composite shots. He's like I've been seeing his improvement on it. There's some where there's a few. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see him on here. I'm not sure if he put the tag or not, but there's some where he's just lacking the shadows on the floors for the figures. But other than that, the composites are pretty good, and his lighting's getting better with what he has.
It looks like you could use a little rim lighting and like take a look. With these shots, you created a monster. With these things, there's a kind of a max number. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
Yeah, I would probably cut it down a bit.
Well, I mean, it's like he's kind of got like a pyramid of he's got 3, 2, 1.
It is a pyramid,
bottom, which is interesting, but a little. Well, I say interesting, but at the same time, it's a little expected. Where I think as he progresses, you should think about some unbalanced, not unbalanced, but less symmetrical layouts for sure. Yeah.
No, I agree. Cool. The thing that kind of bothers me the most is just
Photoshop
the lighting on his face on this one and this one here. They're just
they're way too dark. Yeah, he needs a little bit more. A bounce card would have filled that lighting.
Yeah, set him right on top of a white card. Like you're gonna get that all that under lighting underneath his arms to hit the the muscles.
Yeah, you would light that up some more too. But yeah. Anything else we want to add to this, or should we move on?
Nope.
All right. Mike is very quiet, but Mike is going to start off the Alpha Raptor here. This is I'm totally getting a Clash of the Titans vibe right now, but
I dig this.
Crazy, man. I don't like that Sam Worthington either. I'm talking about like the awesome Ray Harryhausen,
I was thinking of the Attack of the Giant Ants when I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be proud of me, man. I got the Ray Harry. I told you about this last week, right? I got that Ray Harryhausen box set.
Yeah.
I watched all the Sinbads. I still need to watch Jason the Argonaut. So.
Okay.
But this is a cool shot, man.
It really is. I think you did a great job on here. I like the angle. And I like that little truck. I'm a fan of those little trucks. I have a couple. But I do like I get the monster size sense of the Scorpion. And you did a great job. It was a good, I think you did a great job at the black and white. I think it matches really well the foreground with the background.
What I like about it is that it actually looks like a still from those old school movies because that's the way they used to look. You can tell they use like a digital screen in the back, and then they kind of so it has that feel for it. So it works.
But it's not pulling you out of it either. You know, it's just it looks like it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that. Like, I don't want to jump on Mike, but like this, like I could see some flaws. Like I have that Scorpion. It's a pain in the ass because those little legs don't really move all that much.
It reminds me so much of Clash of the Titans, especially the textures here on the claws and stuff.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if Pablo said it or who said it, but like it's not like a perfect, like, I don't feel like this is actually happening, but I feel like this is a still from a 50s movie, man, and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
The Alpha Raptor.
It's so well lit. It's well lit too. That's awesome.
Well, it's well lit because it's lit like a 50s
like a movie. Yep.
I think it's clever. I think I would love to see more of this. I don't know if this is your thing, Alpha Raptor. I don't think it is because we've seen other things you've done, like dinosaurs.
Yeah, he's done other stuff. Yeah,
dude, I would think about like this as an alley. Like this could be your thing, man. I really dig this a lot.
Yeah, this could be your shtick, man. Look at Casper's. Oh wait, Mr. Mom Collectibles. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Mom Collectibles? I don't mean to rush you, but I was about to read Casper's and clicked on you. He says, I love this photo so much. This immediately gave me memories of watching movies with my dad and grandpa. This exactly, man. This is just like just any kind of late night black and white kind of it came from whatever, kind of thing. I love it. I love it. And of course, my whole Ray Harryhausen kick, because I've been watching his stuff again. I mean, this Scorpion looks just like one right out of, as I was saying, Clash of the Titans, the original. And again, Mr. Mont Collectibles, how you doing? I didn't mean to rush off of you, but
if you're watching, or if you're watching this later, follow this account called Caddy Combs. Her name is Amy. She does like really super cool stuff like that's in this pocket. It's not quite the same, because she takes like unusual toys, like just static caddy, CAT. I think it's CAT.
I think CAT. Caddy Combs.
CATTIE.
There we go. Right
there it is. Yeah. So like scroll down a little bit. Like you have to read. Like like that fourth one there. Like that one right there. Like it's very like emotional stuff, man. It's like it's really interesting. Like this is an unusual toy. Like you don't see this every day, but even this isn't like she takes some old stuff, like just old static toys, and puts them in rooms.
Looks great.
Her work is like, I envy everything she does, man. Like I want to do this, but I can't cop this at this point. But like, take a look at go through some of these things, Maz.
Yeah, she has. Her work is amazing. Yeah.
You can feel that image, that black and white one to the left. Yeah. You can sense the sorrow or the pain in that. You can sense that one.
It's gorgeous. Like everything she does is just has like a look at that. I mean,
I like that.
There's emotion and there's a story to everything. You don't have to see. I guess that's Lily, but you don't have to see Lily. It's beautiful, man. I mean, everything she does.
Nice. I like that.
Like, I'm saying, like with what he's doing with that last shot. I would freaking roll with that, man. I would like be the guy who's doing like 1960 monster movie things, because if you didn't do it right now, I would.
Yeah, I would jump on that wagon.
Another account right now.
Yeah.
I think you've inadvertently fallen into a nice little niche that I think you can really capitalize on. So
you could do this with the dinosaurs that you've got. You could do, because there's tons of like dinosaur 60s movies that look like.
Yeah,
and you can kind of get away with like not being. I'm not even saying like you're not going to be perfect, but like it's just so much fun, man. I love this.
It's definitely a motif that you could use to learn more lighting, because the black and white is so more forgiving, I think, to work with.
Well, let me tell you something. There's also an element to that like when I was doing Star Trek, the original series photos for QMX Star Trek figures. I had to like light them like it was studio lighting. I mean, if you watched original Star Trek, it didn't look like they were on a planet. It looked like they were in a studio. You know what I mean? With like lots of like spray foamed rocks and stuff like that. But that was a look. And there is a look to these 60s, 50s, and 60s horror movies that like the night for day type of thing that they used to do. Like it was really daytime, but they turned down the white balance to make it look like night and shit like that. Like, it's a cool genre, man. I would totally jump on this.
The 60s and 70s was famous for doing that. Like all the nighttime stuff is like, is it nighttime though?
Yeah. $6 million Man and shit did all that all the time.
Yeah.
I was watching
I think that's the sun.
Yeah, I remember
watching
that.
Robert Ebert's movie Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, and there's like this nighttime shot, and I was like, is that really nighttime?
No.
I was like, that
totally,
light looks funny.
I love this.
But that's a great movie if you haven't seen that. It's his first, I think, and only directorial, Robert Ebert, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. It's an unofficial sequel to Valley of the Dolls. It's a kooky movie, though. JP Rex, SK here.
Before we start, I'm going to step away for a little bit. I got to put this one to bed. I'll be right back. But I'm not leaving. I'm just going to shut my camera off, and I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So this is JP Rex. Apparently, Alpha Raptor and JP Rex are like on this same wavelength of sorts. They've always been very what's the word I'm looking for? They've
collaborating.
Kind of a collaborating or whatnot have you, like all in the same kind of boat. But here's where they're diverging because Alpha Raptor had this really cool sci-fi 60s or 50s kind of thing, and now we're back to the Jurassic Park stuff. With color and everything. What are your thoughts on this, Mike?
Well, the first thing that I see on it that it distracts me a bit is the post blur or some type of blur going straight through across the. There's just some kind of blur. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, it had to be done in post, I imagine. It covers the tail, then it covers his left arm and his foot. It's not a blur that's natural from depth of field. It's that distracts me a bit. But and then it covers the dino's eye. I see the focus is the what's that? Owen Grady, or who is that? I'm looking
it's
at
some kind of Wrangler. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think maybe you were trying to get a little action in there with some blur or something. I'm not sure, but that just is a little bit distraction. I mean, as far as the other stuff goes, there's no real sense of time for me or direction of lighting. I'm not sure if you did this outside but I just don't get a sense of time or any sense of shape with any type of lighting. It's all pretty flat and even. So it's all, in that regard, it's all lit, but there's just no shape to the lighting. And those are my two things that I would suggest is lighting a little more directional. And perhaps I'm not sure what the blur is, but you do have the horizon line straight in the back. So
yeah,
but that's all. That's my two main.
Just the two things. That's all you get. Two things.
That's all I get.
Trevor, you're the only other one here besides me.
Yep. Positive, I would say I like the colors combination. The blues and the grays work well with snow. Yeah, Mike's right. I mean, you need to. I mean, if you're outdoors, this is a tough environment to shoot in, man. You can do it, but you almost have to create your own artificial light. And again, like you can bounce light. Like if you were to take a portrait of snow, I'm sure, and Mike knows this because he's a portrait photographer, but like you would have somebody, like I said earlier, like hold a card or something underneath their face to get just like, some sense of light from somewhere. It's hard, but I would also say like this comes up a lot with these dinosaur pics with these guys. What line is this? Is this the Hammond collection?
I don't think it's Hammond. I could be wrong though. The dinosaur looks a bit too kitty to be Hammond.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like they don't look particularly articulated, which is hard to say. But like it could be kind of cool because this is tough to get him in any kind of like it doesn't really look like he's sort of wrangling him or that the dinosaur is just kind of standing there like waiting to be wrangled. Like if you cropped in like really tight and had the dinosaur at an angle, like you might have to prop up a foot, it's going to look stupid standing on the table. But in the camera, if you were really tight, you could kind of get him sort of, pulling the rope and you just see the rope like pulling his neck. Don't be afraid to not have everything in the scene in the scene. You know what I mean? Try a different angle, try a different tightness, because like if it's not working and you can't get the action that you want out of a figure because it just doesn't articulate that way, try a tighter shot. You know what I mean? Try where you could just see a hand coming up, but there's no attachment below the shot to really show that it's kind of weirdly awkward. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, just try and crop things. You know what I mean? Like even if you took the shot and you're done with it, try and crop it and see if you can like make something more out of it. You know what I mean? Like we say it a lot. Don't get enamored with your. I mean, this isn't a dio. This looks like it might be outside, but like
your environment. Yeah, don't get caught up in your environment.
That's it, man. Like there's elements that you'll pull from an environment. I mean, here it's kind of tough because it's just a blank gray sky, which again, not the best environment. But you could get away with that if the figures were taking up most of the image. You know what I mean? If the head of the dinosaur was coming over the top of the image and the head of the wrangler was there with his hands like this, and you could just see the rope or something, you know, it could be an exciting shot. So
I would say, like, if you're gonna take a shot like this and you wanted to have all those elements in there in this one shot, the tight shot in on the dinosaur and the wrangler, a tight shot on the foot and the feet, just to, you know, convey, okay, it's cold, it's winter, it's not a good position for any reptile to be in, right? And then on top of that, you know, you can have like maybe a trail that you make with your figures, like just going across the snow, and just do an over the head bird's eye view shot of that and tell a story through panels. Sometimes, you know, take one scene,
panels are cool,
and cut it up, and you don't have to do nothing else with the figure. You just have it in that one post and tell a story through those specific moments in those shots.
So our three toys wanted to interject here too. As someone that spends 6 to 8 months in the snow, it's super hard to photograph. White balance with snow is a major pain to work with, especially when adding models and different skin tones. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I really like where you're going with this, but I do think Trevor's onto something. Just because the scene you might be trying to emulate is this far shot, you know, this wider shot, they have the luxury of being able to actually pose. The people that they're shooting are real people. They have the ability to pose, the ability to, like, maybe this rope here, you know, in real life, you know, they can bring that tension in, but the figure, it can't, because either the rope's too stiff or the figure just can't move it right. So you gotta play to your strengths, which is what Trevor was saying. You know, don't be afraid to just crop this in, come in tight. Even though it's not just like the movie, you still have the feel of it. You just came in for a close up, you know, Mr. DeVille. You're right in there. That's all. The same. You're conveying the same point. You're just bringing it in real nice and tight, because that's how to play to the strengths of the figures and their limitations. So,
because if you're go ahead,
no, I was gonna say, yeah, if he would have brought it in tight and then maybe even put a Dutch angle, I think it would have been a more dramatic shot.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you could have that head. That head has a nice crook to it. The head of the figure of the guy could fit right in there. And like, if you had his hand with the rope, and then just everything else is off screen, but the rope is around the figure's neck, the dinosaur's neck, it could be really good. To Maz's point, like when I was starting to do some stuff with Star Wars, like scene recreation is fun, but I always thought of scene recreation as like, let me take the scene that I know and trying to do it from like a different angle. You know what I mean? Like try to like like if I was the director, I would do it differently, and I would do it this way, and you know, crop it in or take it out or shoot it from above, like Lou was saying. Like, you know, try some different stuff. Scene recreation is a great way to learn, but like once you got to that point, like mix it up. If it's not working, especially mix it up.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, that being said, though, I do love the colors here. I just feel that even though the snow, the scene itself, you're using it appears to be all natural light, because it does look like it's shot outside. Although I think the snowflakes were added in afterwards, because they are more to scale with the figure than what snowflakes would be if it's really outside. And, like, that's the only thing that's selling the snow as being CG or whatever you want to call it. But everything else looks like it's actually outside, like in a nice overcast, beautiful day. And I love the colors of the scene. But it was also mentioned we need to add a little extra light just to pop these guys off the page a little bit, just to give them a little I don't want to overlight them, but just to give them a little sense of what's the word I'm looking for. Anybody can jump in. Just
depth,
a little,
or I don't know, like
some shape to it.
Yeah, shape is good. That's good.
He is in the Sierra Nevada National Park, so I know it's snowy there and it's cold.
Well, I think that might be where the movie's scene was.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought he was in the Sierra Nevadas. Okay, I was gonna say it's cold over there right now.
But I'm in a cemetery in London today, if you ask me, because that's where my shot's supposedly taking place at. So,
Yeah, I mean, as far as the environment goes, like, again, this is cinematic. You know what I mean? Like, again, Harry's not here, but like, this is.
He will be. He's coming in just a few. minutes.
Okay. This is
He
cinematic.
He pulled a Lou on me.
To me, it's a different style. It's not innate to me.
I love you.
I think with some of us here, it's more photography than cinematography. So like, we're thinking of that light that's going to like give shape, like Mike said, to a figure. I mean, this could be looked at as a cinematic thing. I mean, I have seen plenty of movies that are shot in a gray sky and there is no, they light them, but it's meant to look dreary and bleak. Like
right.
But it is a photograph. I don't know. It's my innate thought to like.
Yeah. If this is where you want to be at, JP Rex, as far as like that style, then you're nailing it. And don't listen to us. But if you want to also work on techniques, then take some of the stuff and leave the rest. Whatever you want to do, because I like where you're thinking here. I think execution wise, we could maybe tighten it up a little bit more. So I'm really digging that.
All about improving.
R3 says piggybacking on Trevor, but getting different angles always catches my eye. The ones from above and below, especially doing portrait photos in real life, has my muscle memory. Always doing traditional portraits.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on, and then we're gonna start with Lou on this one. R3 Toys, Lou, you get to jump into the R3 Toys. Thanos.
Yeah, I've seen this shot before. This is an awesome shot. Like the lighting gets all the details on the face, and then you got the contrast on the other end. It's not too dramatic in the sense of you can't see anything. You can still see the details in the shadows, and then you got the nice destruction in the background. It's really nice. The only thing is it seems like the sun is behind him, but he's getting sun in front of his face, and that's what's throwing me off on this shot.
Bouncing off of the mirror he's looking at, because he's like, I'm sexy, look at my nuts.
Oh, it's bouncing off something. I mean, there's other objects there.
It's throwing me off a little bit. It's throwing me off because I don't know what's in front of him.
Man, he's looking in the mirror.
Yeah, but it's only on his face. There's none on his chest armor.
He's not looking at his chest armor. He's got a pimple. He's got to take care of that.
He got a pimple.
But if there was no light in front, then it would just be a silhouette. So it has to be bouncing off something.
Exactly. This goes to that.
Coming from the low story wise, you're like, where's that light coming from? But
but it's only directed on his face. Like it's like if someone shined a mirror in his face, kind of. You know what I mean?
You want some bleed down
like,
this way.
There's no other lights or like no other light being directed onto the figure other than his face.
Well, I mean,
I can see
we'll wait for R3 to tell us where his head was at. But I mean,
this goes to the.
He could be literally doing a portrait of Thanos on Titan, like Thanos is about to go kick the Avengers' butt on Titan, but he's got his own personal photographer with him right now. And he's like, "Hey, let me get some shots of you before you go into this fight." And that's what
it's Corvus grave. He's taking up.
I'm digging it. I'm not knocking it. I definitely dig the colors and everything. The command of colors and light here.
Yeah.
But I do understand your reason for the story. What is the story? Why is a light like this? I do get that.
This is a portrait, though. I get that. Like, this is the opposite of what we were talking about in the last shot, which is like. If you want to give that props for being more cinematic and not like lighting, like this is a portrait, you know what I mean? This is lit. I would say like maybe to Lou's point, like the light over the top of his head there could be maybe a little brighter, but I don't see that light isn't going to be bouncing off another piece of metal that he's happens to be standing in front of, or something that's reflecting onto his face. I have no problem with that. I think he's blended this beautifully, and this works like what we were talking about earlier with a portrait. Like, you can take a background and just keep it all one. There's no levels to this thing. It can all be the same level of depth, and it works perfectly. And he's blended the light according to what is behind him. Like, that light is hitting everything the same way it's hitting him, so it works.
And also
really, really nicely composited.
Story-wise, too, a lot of these structures here on Titan, like this big thing, these are metallic structures. So there could be one towards his front. Now, granted, it doesn't satisfy everybody, because why isn't there any light on the armor? I get that.
Well, it's still coming over. So it's almost that light that when you have bright sunlight, again, that's why I'm saying, like, maybe there could be a little bit hotter light behind him along the edge, but that's going to kind of come across your face too. If there's anything, I mean, there's atmosphere. I mean, the light is not dark out. So there's other light that's going to be in front of him. I mean, it looks like the sun is setting to the left of him, or the sun is setting to the right of him, and there's nothing. There's darkness to the left of him. So I think it worked. I don't know.
I think, if it's funny, because I've been thinking about this all week. If you take any of the photos that we do. No, this one picture, R3, just you, buddy. Just if you
6 hours ago, how would you do that?
I'm just that good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It was just I had to jump.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I think if you take away the background, and if you take away our dials, if you take away any of those things, and you just leave the figure there with the light on it, how we would light that figure, it should still look really good. And what I don't know if that came across right, but I think here, R3, I like this shot because for a few reasons. I think that you weren't scared to do a softer light with the more chiseled guy. I think I would have defaulted to sharp chiseled, but I like the fact that this isn't that. And I'm not so worried about the armor in the front being lit. I think if I looked at this, I would say camera right, you probably did a bounce light into there, and then you had another light in the front. That would be. It's hard to tell with these toys though, because they have a lot of painted highlights and stuff. But I think just the light is probably set up like that. But I think it's a good looking shot. I like it, and I love those colors. I think you did a good job on it. But at the end of the day, if you take away background, and this is a digital background, if you took that away, how would the light still look? Sometimes, and I do that sometimes. I have my figure standing there in the middle of a table with just light falling on it. If it's just a portrait like this, and just watch and see how it looks. So there's nothing distracting about it. I can just see the light and how it looks without the distractions of the background and stuff. And it should still look really great. And then you can add the background in and blend it or whatever. But I think it's a good looking shot. I think you did real nice.
Yep.
I would like to see the behind the scenes. Like, you could have a light off camera, like a Lume Cube type of light up where the sun is, but just off camera. And I think actually, now that I'm looking at it more, I'm agreeing with Lou and whoever else said, like, the armor is shiny. It's a little tarnished at this point. But it almost looks like he might have painted in those highlights in Photoshop post. I'm not sure. I don't know. If there was a light behind him from that sun, it would have been kind of casting a pretty harsh light on the edge of those pieces of armor there, at least on the
camera right. Yeah.
Camera
right. Yeah.
I mean, it still works and it blends really well, and it's a weird atmosphere. Like, that whole planet Titan was like weirdly atmospheric anyway.
It was about to blow up. I mean, it was at its
gravity was all weird.
It still works, but
he's lucky he got this portrait. It's about to blow up, man. He's lucky he got this. Give the man.
This photo is post blink. Somehow his card survived the blink blip.
Now we got somebody here who can really attest to this process.
Harry.
Yo, sorry.
What's going on?
Super late.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I told Lou that it was his fault.
Yep, it's always Lou's fault. But yeah, I took a nap, and then I was like, I'll wake up in half an hour. I can make it. And then here I am, 2 hours later.
He did one of my moves.
Yeah.
So this is R3 Toys, and this is this reminds me a lot of the way you shoot. So I was
about to say,
I want to definitely get you to chime in on that. And I'm gonna go AFK real quick while you do that.
That's why. It's because he needs to go AFK.
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Comment is interesting.
Do you guys want to chime in at all, or do you want me to go first on this one?
We already did. We've been
already.
Yeah, we've been chiming in already.
Yes. This is another case of trying to mimic daylight time. I think it's not really daylight. It's more like a sunset kind of lighting situation here, but it's still really tough to try and mimic this kind of lighting. So I can kind of see where he's struggling a little bit there, but usually R3 Toys is on point with his lighting. So it's just a matter of trying to match that lighting, and it's just really tough in this situation. Yeah, it's a good shot though.
Well, it's interesting. His comment, great feedback. All lighting was natural from a window behind and one lume cube to camera right angled for Rembrandt lighting, which I like. He's a portrait photographer, he said already. So like that Rembrandt lighting.
That makes sense.
Is like, a nice little triangle. Cheek. It's real nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I can see it there. Yep.
But and a window behind him. So you composited this on top of a digital, like you composited this in post, R3? So this wasn't shot in front of a. Okay. Yeah.
It could be. Yeah. I don't know if he's. Yeah.
That's probably why the shoulders look like maybe he highlighted those in post a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like a natural fade off of a bright light.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, you can see a little bit of. Well, I guess you guys did point it out on. I guess if we're looking at it, our left, the edge of that armor has that white shimmer on the edging.
Yeah.
That should have been on the other side if
photographed in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
He's compositing. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So R3 says great feedback. All lighting was natural from a window behind and one lume cube to camera right angled for Rembrandt lighting.
So if I could add to that, like I think that's a great setup for this, except that the sun is behind him, like right, that's the hottest spot there. So the window is great. The Rembrandt lighting from the lume cube could work, and it does work. But if you add one more lume cube back there where the window is, like really creating, again, like in my shot, like I've got the softbox, but then I've got a lume cube for the hot sun. And if you had that back there creating more of a bright light coming from behind him, I think it would have sold it more in marrying with the background a little bit more. But I mean, the portrait lighting is beautiful. It's a crisp shot. It's beautifully done. Interesting, Mike, like you said, there's a softness to it. It was interesting. You're right. Like he's a hard, villain. It's like to take a soft portrait is kind of an interesting choice, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it works. It works. Yeah.
It was photographed on a gray background too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it though, R3. I mean,
it's a good shot. R3.
Yeah, it's a very nice shot.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. It is good. It's just that if we're gonna nitpick something, we're gonna nitpick something.
I agree, Lou. I feel like he's got a metallic armor. I would like to have seen a little bit more light, at least coming around the shoulder, a little brighter.
Like on the shoulder,
just on the side, maybe, just to catch up with that light, because it just seems like a waste of good metallic armor to not give it any kind of shine there, not to let the light hit it at all. But either way, I think the picture is still beautiful. So
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
there you go.
Tough dust flying around in Titan.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got Casper. Oh my God, a turtle is down. Lou, which turtle?
Turtle. Okay.
Which turtle?
It's Donnie.
That's Donnie.
He might be down in PL's room. They're the same color light.
Okay, I need to know. Is he watching the moonlight or is he a body?
Dude, I think this is one of the last Ronin
corpse,
kind of
bro.
things, man.
It's a corpse turtle.
This is where Donnie eats it, man. This is why
easy. That's be nice.
I think he's just enjoying the sunset. He's not laying flat on the ground.
A single songwriter says, "Turtle down."
Turtle
We have a turtle down. I repeat,
It looks like a turtle down situation.
Is it a snapper?
Is it a snapper?
That's from TikTok. That's from TikTok. It's a snapping turtle.
He did a good job with the composite, but he needed to blur that bridge out.
Oh, look!
Yeah, that
real
should be
quick
in the
tangent here.
background.
Sideshow just sent me a notification. Some of your items are arriving late. The Mandalorian and Grogu deluxe version, Luke Skywalker deluxe version. So
Yeah, I got the same email the other day.
I got a promo code that's expiring soon, which doesn't use.
Yeah, it rarely works, if I'm being honest.
It really works on anything that I
want.
care to have.
Yeah, it never works on what I want though. So.
Yeah, it's because the app that he's using, it does pretty good for composites. The problem is, and he's told me, it's just finding images that are already blurred out, and it's kind of hard to do.
Pablo, he's shooting the figure and then putting that whole thing is on.
Yeah, it's a composite. Yeah,
on location. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not on location. It's a composite. So he's shooting it. I'm not sure how if he's shooting it on playing. If he's still here, he should be able to tell us.
Yeah, Casper, what are you shooting this against?
Yeah, whatever he's shooting it against, I think he did a great job of making
the shadows. Yeah, this one. Yeah,
he looks to scale with everything else, like he's actually a humanoid size and a toy here and everything.
That's
I love his.
I'm disappointed. He's a corpse on the shore, bro. He's just chilling right there on the side.
Maybe he's laying down, but the main initial problem with this is actually like the photograph that you took for the background is nicely composited because it's got that angle right through it. It's got 2 points, that bring you up, but to insert something into this shot, you've got to break that. And right now, the turtle is basically blending into the shore. Like it's even hard to see enough light in there.
Yeah, his coloring is not working here.
Yeah, but you'd have to break this little triangle composition from the bridge and the shore with the turtle in like his face should be over the water to like make him the focus, because right now he's just blending into the background. But
he sets it on a clear cube and use a flat black background.
Okay.
Then
Casper, I would love you to try, and I know like it takes, not everybody has like huge dios or anything like that, but I don't know. Try something even set outside, you know what I mean? Like go take it outside and, you got turtles. You've got to have something that's in scale with the turtles, even props that they come with or something, or, a box. What's that?
Some pizza.
The pizza boxes.
Yeah, even like standing on pizza could be cool. But like take them outside, man. Take them, like get away from like right off the bat. Like going into the studio is a tricky thing. Like I don't love shooting outside anymore, but shooting outside will give you a sense of like natural light and how to control it and things like that, and play with that a little bit, man. I mean, I know you're probably shooting on your phone, but I don't know what phone you have, but there's some great cameras on phones now, and you can get some portrait mode. It'll give you a nice bokeh behind the figure and stuff like that. Just try some stuff like that before you get into, again, like you're shooting a lot of big full frame, full figure pictures. And I know you want to tell a story, which is excellent. Right here, you are telling a story. But maybe just try some simpler stuff, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'd like to see you get the lighting on the figures down first before you try to get into elaborate backgrounds and blending things into the background.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And the fact that the background is too focused, like it's focused and he's focused, it kind of throws you off a bit. The perspective, the depth. But I think on the app that he's using, you can blur out the images or at least portions of it. And so I know for a while he was using Photoshop, but
oh really? Oh
yeah, because he was on the month-to-month base on it, but I think he had to cut back on it for a little while, and he started using a free app right now.
Okay.
Just pirate that
Casper,
right?
Adobe's gonna shut you down. Casper, what are you using to shoot? Can you tell us what you're using to shoot? Whether it's a phone, Pablo, is it a phone or is he?
I believe it is his phone. I believe it is his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I mean, the phone matters now too, but yeah, I mean, try some outside shots, man. Some portrait shots of the turtles or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. All right. Well, while we're waiting on hearing back from him, we're gonna move on to the next one. This is awesome.
Yeah, this was cool.
This is a great use of the Ant-Man and the scale. The only thing that bugs me with this one small thing is that his arm is obviously coming out to the side, and it's just a kind of weird.
It's actually his wife's arm.
Oh, okay. Well, his wife's arm, and like I said, it's just it's obvious that you're hiding the rest of the body from the camera, which is just that angle.
Have you guys ever seen Spy Kids?
Yes.
Yep.
It looks like he's being chased by one of those thumb-thumbs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a human grabbing him, so there has to be an arm attached to it. Otherwise, it's going to look like
the angle here is just kind of bugging me. I just would like it more in line, less crook from the side.
Then you'll see the person, though, right?
Well, yeah, it's a tough game to play here on that one, but
you know what? The only thing I think would make this cooler, like if you took this at this is a Dutch angle shot if I ever saw one, so that the arm would be going off the top corner, and he's more at an angle that would give him more of a dynamic running angle. This still works. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like it, but the only thing I could see is that
back here.
You'd get that ceiling out of the way, which is a little bit of a weird line through the top. You know what I mean? Like it could be.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would have probably. Well, no, even then, yeah.
All right, guys, we got to interrupt this program real quick. Local Lou says he's got to go to work.
All right, Lou.
Take it easy, bro. Lou,
bye,
Lou. Take care, buddy. Take care, buddy.
Bye, Lou. Take care, Lou.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow everybody on Instagram, Facebook, and all that other good jargon. And we'll catch you next week for more of these shenanigans.
Yes, sir.
Shenanigans.
Thank you, Lou, for being here.
Bye, Lou.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Right. I'm glad that he got these figures because I got rid of a lot of my MCU figures, and he actually purchased this Ant-Man, Captain America, and the Black Widow from me. And
okay.
So I was
I
like,
really
man,
like the concept of this shot, though.
The concept is awesome. I love it.
Great, yeah.
And the execution's not bad, but there are a few things.
No, it is good.
Definitely want to get the room lights out of here so that the tree is the only backlight there. And it would probably help sell the way this arm is, particularly your Dutch angle solution would also, I think, sell the angle of that arm that's bothering me.
I would like to see him do the other concept that he had in mind for this shot. He's part of the Toy Photographers Collective group, and he's one of the admins. His original concept was to have ornaments in the background bouncing, but he just couldn't figure out how to do it. And I was gonna message him, was like, hang them with fishing line off of. You can get some cheap PVC piping and make a stand, and you can hang them off of that, and you can make them look like they're bouncing in the background. Because he was trying to figure out how to get those ornaments to look like they're bouncing behind him, like they're falling off the tree, and he's running away from the ornaments. I would like to see that shot, like him do that shot.
Cool. Yeah, dude, definitely. Cool. And Toys Through Lenses, I'm so sorry, man. Tell your wife she did a great job. I'm just nitpicking. I'm repressed, my wife would never do this for me.
I think it was more that you thought it was his hands. They're very feminine. They're very feminine.
But yeah, try, cool too. I want to see you do that shot.
Yeah. If he was balanced on like a Christmas ball or something like that, like it's kind of like
that would be cool too.
That would be kind of cool.
I would like to see him revisit that.
Coming out of the tree, like for some reason, like you're reaching through the tree trying to grab him.
I think I saw a shot last week of somebody that did Ant-Man, not this Ant-Man, but the the regular Ant-Man, like jumping from like ball to ball through a tree. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good shot too.
Cool. Makes me want to get an Ant-Man figure though. I'm just saying.
But I'm writing this down because I'd like to get one. I think he looks cool.
Well, isn't it January? Is that what it is that they do every year? And it's take your Ant-Man figure and put him in real life situations.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
put me on the spot there, won't you?
It's a hashtag.
I just want to know what you're doing. I was like, what is he doing over there?
I am plugging in my life.
Oh,
there There it goes.
what Pablo said about the ornaments bouncing, it didn't look like he used flash in this, so that would have been nice with with no flash. It would have gave that natural blur of those. Perhaps you could have moved them a little bit right before the shot, and then you could have got a nice little bit of blur to him. That'd have been cool too.
Yeah,
since there's no flash here.
The tree is pretty far back, though. I don't know how much.
Well, I think he was. I think his
Mm-hmm.
idea was different. Like his original idea was different, using the ornaments bouncing off the tree. And I think he couldn't. From what I understood, he just couldn't figure out how to get them to be bouncing in the background. Unless he got like plastic ones, and then you would have to have flash and a good shutter speed to be able to capture the bounce. But I would just hang them with fishing line off of just a jerry rig, a rig out of PVC piping, and that would work phenomenal. So I would like to see him revisit that first concept.
You can get some really, really loose rubber bands to tie them on there too, and let that stretchiness make them kind of get the bounce too, without them hitting the floor. You're gonna have to measure that,
or use the elastic that you can buy in for your elastic waistbands.
Yeah,
or even the ones that people were buying to make the COVID masks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Use that elastic, and you can you'll get that springiness to it.
Yeah. That way, at least you can get some natural motion blur from the bounce and the shot. So,
it's cool.
But, yeah,
It's cool shot. Great concept.
This is a great concept, man,
and great execution too.
Let's see here. Oh, Rippick Tan. Look at that.
Whoa.
He loves to play with his spaceships through this diorama, man. And what is all this?
Yeah, what's up with those lights? Oh wait,
we got for
he's in a cave.
Is it a cave or is it underwater cave?
Oh, so he's trying to make some stars out of.
Yeah, they look like stars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like a space. It's out in space, like a.
I think it's in a cave, but that's like
it's in the
night sky.
that he's got, man.
Okay, the night sky outside of a cave.
Yeah, I think
that's cool. It's a cool setup.
The only thing that's kind of bugged me here is the stars are not random enough. They're very uniform, kind of.
Well,
they are a bit uniform.
Looking. My first thought is, what's creating that light if it's nighttime? That's my only.
A sun. He's
a
out
sun.
In space.
Yep.
He's out in space. It's like an asteroid. It's
a galaxy far away.
At night. but wait a minute. Is this on a planet, or is this like a meteor that has all these like weird?
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be a meteor actually, because they do that quite a bit too in the movies.
It's not congruent though. Like, yes, Maz, I think you're right. There's too many stars.
Well, I think it's very uniform looking. I mean, the amount is okay, I think, but you need some like different little sizes if possible. I know you're doing like little pinhole pricks into a black sheet or something, and so you're getting a lot of very same size stars, and they're almost like straight lines, but if you just not random enough, and it's really going to be hard to do.
But that light, it looks like it's outdoors, like it's an atmosphere. It's like you're on a planet, and that is the atmosphere outside that's creating a little bit of godlight coming through an opening in a cave that he's flying through or something like that. And then on the bottom, it's like nighttime and stars, and it's throwing me up. The composition, let me say, the composition is awesome. I love the way he framed this whole thing. I think it would have been really cool if where the stars were, it was, I don't even know, even more cave or.
I initially thought it was underwater when I first saw it.
Yeah, I thought it was like little like luminescent things in a
cave. That's what I saw when I first saw the shot. So
maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Maybe there's something we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if it's in a cave, the stars shouldn't be that low either. I feel like that should be where
that's what I mean. Yeah,
the horizon should be or something, right?
Yeah,
right.
And Single Songwriter made a good point too. You can also edit out some of the stars, make it more deep.
Yeah.
But anyway,
he looks like he's in a cave. Like it should be, what should be in that space should be something like that would be in a cave.
I'm getting that feeling. Remember in Empire Strikes Back when they're flying over that big asteroid on the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, I know, with the worm and everything.
With the worm. Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, maybe it's
the light. Where's that light coming from though? That's not like that would have to be right on top of that.
Just a star. that's in that area. I guess I don't know.
It's a
I don't
blue
know, man.
sun.
I'm just
But it's a
It's
cool
that
shot.
right
Yeah.
there, and then it's
Blue
dark
sun.
stars, but like 2 feet, 10 feet below that. Like it doesn't make any sense.
all right.
Don't get me wrong. Again, love the composition. It's just
Yeah.
like it's throwing me
It,
off.
it
man.
looks great still. Yeah, just it's a little bit distracting. Those lights, those stars.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's say he's entering a cave, like that's the entrance to the cave,
Yeah.
and those little stars are not stars, but they're like maybe some kind of bug that's in the cave.
That's what when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, there's
A lot
like
of
these little
bugs.
luminescent things, and maybe that's what he's going for. I
It
don't know.
might be that, yeah. Because like after you said that, then I started thinking. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that Robot's Death or Deaths. It's on Netflix, and there's an episode
Oh, Love,
Oh,
Death,
Love,
Robot.
Death, and Robots.
that
Yeah.
the episode where those soldiers go into the cave where I guess the
Yes.
Cthulhu, those bugs started to
Oh,
glow
yeah,
in the
yeah.
ceiling. That kind of
Yes.
reminds me of that too.
Single Farmer says the light is from a star destroyer searching for your escape. So there you go.
There
There's
you go.
your light.
There's our light source.
Okay, there we go.
There's
Then
the story.
There's
There's
a cool
the
shot,
story.
like right there, like you stand back and it's like, ooh, that is
Yeah.
like the composition and the light is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The stars are just throwing me off. I don't know.
Yeah, the star field is a little wonky to me.
I don't know what it is,
It lacks some kind of depth to it. It looks very flat.
but I mean, his composition is always really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toothpick nails it, man, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's look at the next one here. Those wonderful toys. And we're going for the black and white here. I'm really digging this. Let me hit that.
I'm getting I Love Lucy vibes from this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ricardo, Raph.
Ricky's on the couch. Yeah.
Mhm.
Who
Cool
wants
shot,
to-
man. I like the composition. I like the story behind it too. Like you can tell that
Right.
she's nagging Raph, like get off your ass, like it's time to.
And the look on his face is perfect.
Yeah.
It's just like, bring me another beer. So good.
It's awesome. Good job, man. Good
Yeah,
job.
I like this. I like this, man.
Yeah,
I
this is
think I got a
really
little
good.
spoiled though with
Dinner's ready.
Alpha
What's on the
Raptors
table?
black
Dinner.
and white today though. Yeah, I really dig, especially all the props here, man. I'd like to know where you get all these props from. Like this couch is awesome.
Well, that couch actually you can get at Hobby Lobby. I have that couch.
That is totally the Hobby Lobby
Yeah.
couch.
Yep.
That is
Not
it.
gonna go to Hobby
And I
Lobby.
think-
I hate giving them money.
I think his background is one of those
Extreme sets. I think it's an
sets,
extreme sets. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
at
Which,
least
like, again,
three-dimensional.
like he's done a good job with this because, like, a lot of times if you don't shoot these at the right angle to match the kind of lighting
Mhm.
that they have, they look
Mhm.
weird because they're flat. But he's done the right thing here with the lighting, in that it kind of matches the lighting that they pre-printed on the background, basically. So
Yeah, I was
Yeah, they
gonna
did a
say, is
great
that
job in that
2-dimensional or is
too.
that like 3-dimensional?
No, that's
'Cause, like, the
1-dimensional.
lighting-
man.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah,
Or
the lighting
2-dimensional,
matches
yeah,
perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love the lighting that he captured on Raph from the TV, but I think the light needs to go down a bit more because
Yeah.
how low the TV,
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
His
more-
crotch is very dark.
Yeah, I think more of that light needed to be down. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it looks great because like you can tell that light's coming from the TV on his face. Like just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Good job. All right.
Again, this is, I know I've seen those wonderful toys before, but like this is definitely an angle, man, for for it's a style. Could be really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got Ale.Z. We got a little.
I don't think that's a toy.
Batman.
I don't think that's a toy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's a toy.
What?
I think that's actually him.
That
Oh,
looks
is
like
it
a
him in
dude.
a bat suit? Because I was
I
going to
think
say
so.
the face looks a little weird for the Ben Affleck, but you know.
I think that's him. Yeah, wearing the suit.
Oh yeah,
I want that suit.
I want that suit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good looking.
yeah.
suit.
This is his suit, boots.
Yeah, it says I'm the action figure now. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm the action figure now. Yeah,
Yeah, Ale.Z, man.
I
This
am
is
the
awesome.
action figure now.
good job, man. Good self portrait.
He
Yeah, very
kinda
cool.
Looks like Ben Affleck a little bit, or at
Yeah.
least
Mhm.
mouth does. Yeah.
Well, I noticed the cheeks weren't quite right, but that was, I was like, wait.
So you were probably like, who did this 1/6 scale? But no, it's not a 1/6 scale. It's a 1:1.
Yo, Adrian says he needs me
It's
in this
1-1.
suit. Really? Why? Why would you need me in this suit? I would be.
I would like to see that too, actually.
I'd be giving it a pot belly, man. I'd be like Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse, looking at this thing, be like, hey, you're kind of a different shape, and I'd be like, but yeah, this is some great lighting you got on here. I love the composite on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these lights up here really help selling this rim light on. I love it, man.
It's good.
It's a whole other level.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great job.
Shooting
man.
1-to-1 scale.
1-to-1 scale, man.
Oh my God.
Ayo does that. Say it for me. I'm Batman. Come on. All right, we're gonna move on here. What? A gremlin skateboarding 6-skill Steve.
Wow.
He's got his Marty. He's got his Doc Brown.
New
Now,
Doc.
how'd you get Doc Brown without that O face?
That is true.
I mean,
There's
I
not
don't
the
see that O
O-face.
face there.
Yeah.
Is he just get it out with the angle, or is this a different head sculpt?
Good lighting.
I think it's a
It's a
different
different head
sculpt.
sculpt.
Yeah,
It's a different head sculpt.
Because that figure only has that O face. Like,
Yeah.
It could be a custom. It could be a custom
Customs
head.
out there.
Yep.
I like the.
and
The story
Einstein
with
looks
the
better.
I think it's just the angle, actually. I think
it
it
doesn't
actually
look bad
is,
there.
Although that head sculpt would have worked if he had that O face, it would have worked for this shot.
Oh, totally.
Sure,
Yeah.
it would have worked. Yeah.
I tell you, like, this is a great concept. I would have loved to have seen it coming straight through the middle of them and having them both look
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
what I
about to
mean?
say that too. Yep.
Yeah.
You're getting that
That
more
would
of a
look a lot
straight on
better.
shot from in front
Totally
of the,
balanced shot with the
Yeah.
gremlin coming right at you and the two of them looking at it like, what the fuck was that?
Mhm.
That would be
scale says
really
it's the
cool.
angle, so this is the O face Doc Brown.
Yeah, I think it is the
Okay.
angle.
Okay.
Great use of that angle, man, because I can't tell he's got the O face right here.
Yeah, can't either.
At all.
I knew that was going to happen. That that kind of look. It was a great job.
Again, like, this is cool. Like, you took the background and it's a pretty good blend. I could kind of see where it ends, but like it's pretty good. But you still could have gotten a little bit of that back. I mean, I know it's like once you get something in your head, like, this is the way I'm going to shoot this. I get it. I totally get it because I do it all the time. But play around with it, because, like, think about, like, the story you're telling too. Like, you can still make out this is a gremlin. You can still make out that the flame is hilarious, you know, with the skateboard and everything. I think it just would have been, like, really impactful if he had been coming straight at it. But you didn't do that. You did this. But this is good. I mean, I think
Yeah, this works.
the lighting
Yeah,
is
it
good.
works.
Yeah, that's one thing
Lighting
I
is
do
good.
want to point out, man. He did a great job of casting the light
Oh,
from
the
the
fire,
fire
yeah.
on
Yeah,
all
the
the
fire.
figures.
Yep.
Great job of making that fire look like it's casting the light. I mean, look
Even
at
on the back of
Einstein.
the arm of the gremlin.
Yeah,
Also.
look at Marty on
Yeah.
this side too,
Mhm.
not just on this side, but both. You know, he did a great job of lighting all this, man. And in the
I
back
think
of the
some blur
green.
would have helped with the
He has
gremlin
more
there, I
shots
feel.
in there, doesn't he?
Oh, let me take a look here.
Oh,
Okay, now I see the O
kinda like
face.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
now you can
good.
see the O
Now I
face.
can see. Yep.
My only problem with this one is that neither face is in focus.
The
Like,
back of Marty's arm is in
Yeah.
focus. The shoulder.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
his
weird
hand is
focal
in
point
focus,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your depth could have been a little bit. You could have bumped that up a little bit. I think it would have been better.
Yeah, let's look at that. Great.
Again, you're telling a story. It's not too deep that you couldn't get everybody almost in focus. You know what I mean? Like, if you had bumped this up to maybe, I don't know, 14, something like that.
Once the
depending on what
gremlin
you're
hits
shooting with.
88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit. That's what single songwriters. There it is. Now I can link it. I had to approve it, I guess, because he said serious shit on it. Yes, this is a great
concept, though.
Great concept. I love it. You do need to work a little bit on marrying that background to the foreground with the colors and the lighting. Not too.
Yeah, there's like a line, like right at like Einstein's hind leg there that you can kind of see the.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
But
yeah, no,
it's close.
Man. It's a cool shot, man. Yeah.
It was a great attempt at this, man. I love it. Let's see what we got here. We got Adrian's photography. We got a Mezco. I think it's the Mezco Predator. It looks like it. I'm looking for the hashtag that would tell me. This is Marvel Legends. What does it say? Marvel Legends. A Mezco Predator. There we go. So this is Mezco Predator. Adrian, I'm going to start with this one. You're really dark here, buddy.
Yeah.
That's my. I really can't see much else to say much else. You got a little bit of light here, but it looks like you're just shooting too fast or something, and you don't have enough light coming into the lens at all. I mean, regardless of your lighting, it just seems like your shutter speed might be too fast, and you didn't compensate anywhere else. I don't know. Anybody else? I mean,
I think
I kind of
if it's either that or he needed to add a bounce card on the bottom, because I think he's going for that night shot, and so whatever blue light he's using above, if he had a bounce card, if he had him standing on a bounce card, he would have bounced some of that blue light back on him in the front, and I think that would have conveyed, because I think that's supposed to be the moon in the background, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Adrian said the speed was way too fast. What was your shutter speed at there, Adrian? Because if you're on a tripod, you don't need it to be fast at all. I mean, you could.
Yeah, you can slow it down.
If you get the light on the figure, you could be at like 15 seconds if you want. I mean,
I shoot 2 to 4 seconds almost all the time because of the fog and stuff like that.
I usually shoot about 1 to 2 seconds myself. Yeah, so usually my shot today though wasn't that. My shot today was 1/30. He said, I just got some boards. Okay.
Okay, good. Oh, some bounce boards he's talking about.
Yeah, with the boards here, like, say you got a lot of blue here. Don't be afraid if you got blue ruling your shot. Yeah, 1/25 is way. If you're on a tripod,
125. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, 125. Yeah, that's fast.
But what I would do is, like, you got
maybe
all
he's
this
hand holding.
Sorry.
Maybe he's hand holding. Maybe he doesn't have a tripod.
Yeah, if he's hand holding,
that's the only way. I mean, that's the only reason.
Well, then you need more lights to compensate that. You just need more lights. But back to this thing, what I would do here, you got a very substantial amount of blue in this shot. I would cut this foreground like with a bounce. I would point a whiter, still cool, but a whiter light at a bounce board going back towards that figure, just to kind of cut that blue a little bit because it's very saturated, and to bring some light to his face or wherever you want that light, but just to bring him out a little bit more and make it still look like it's a nighttime shot. Also, your blue is very saturated here. I would probably pull back a little bit on its saturation. It's got the whole blue lightsaber LED problem that's now happening with the new Star Wars stuff, where it's like a really almost a purple blue, which is too royal for.
But the white would help cut that down too. Like again, like a nighttime shot, like it may not be like every time you go out to shoot at night, it's not a full moon, but the moon does cast some light, and you're cheesing a little bit, especially when you're trying to get this dramatic nighttime shot with a toy shot. Like you got that blue atmosphere, but then you cut it with a moonlight, which is exactly what Maz said is a bright white light that acts as the moonlight, and you can have that aimed. I think it is good to have it softened, like by a bounce card, bounce it off a white card onto his right side, or if you want to do that top down, godlight look over the top of his head, you could do it that way. But yeah, you definitely got to cut it because it's too dark.
Yeah, so
he answered, kind of answered the question. I wondered why his arms were so blurry, but he answered in that in the thing where he said he handholds. So
tripod, you can get a tripod for like $20, Adrian, and that would solve a lot of your problems. I mean, that's cheaper than buying lights. You obviously have a few lights. You got to at least a blue light and a white light, because there is some white hitting the top of his head here.
Yep.
So
and actually, that's what's bothering me the most, I think, because my eyes are drawn to that. Yeah, like that highlight on his head. If it's moonlight nighttime, I don't think that would be there.
Well, I think this is the moon here. I think he's using like a screenshot of a moon, because if you see that, it looks kind of.
Oh, is that a moon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
On camera, right? Or is
one of the two? It's either a moon or a space station.
That's no moon.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
That's no moon.
Yeah, I made everybody laugh. Bad joke for the win.
That's it. Good night, everybody.
All right, he just got a tripod. All right, you got a Joby, so it's like a $60 tripod, but all right.
Okay.
Good luck with that. If you got a big lens on that, it's going to have a hard time holding it up though, because the ball joint on the
the little tiny Joby things.
Yeah, well, he said Joby. That's what I'm assuming. The one with the gorilla, kind of thing. So, but
okay.
And then Chase got the reference. That's good.
There you
go. But Adrian, I think that's what you need to do. Now that you got a tripod, you'll be able to slow down your shutter speed, let more light in, and you'll be able to really start taking advantage of what lighting you do have. Go ahead, Trevor.
I would say, like, the next time, like, reshoot this thing. Take another light, even if I don't know what kind of lights you have. I know lume cubes are expensive, but if you've got a little bright focused light, move it around to the back where the moon is. Have it come over his shoulder. Shoot that. Move it around towards the front. Shoot that. Move it around towards the top. Shoot that. And like, show us like next week, like, try different lighting settings, and we could talk about them. It would be a great thing to talk about. You know what I mean?
If you want to do that, that'd be great, Adrian. That'd be a good way to break up the monotony of what we do every day and just kind of maybe tailor a show more towards it. We are going to talk about snow next week, though. We're going to talk about the in-camera snow.
Moonlight and snow works.
Moonlight and snow. Yep.
Chase Magnitude is asking a question. Does anyone here shoot handheld, or is it all tripod?
All tripod for me.
Tripod.
I think this whole panel is tripod. I
shoot on a monitor arm.
The last time I shot handheld was when I was doing family portraits. That was the last time I shot handheld. But all my toy photography is all tripod.
There's really no reason to do handheld for a figure that doesn't move.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. There's really just no reason that you have to be held.
The only way I would do that is like if you're going around and you've got real high speed just to test things and test out angles and try it. You know what I mean? I will move around the shot holding it, but that is not what I'm going to use to shoot. I'm going to find an angle and then I'm going to set up my tripod at that angle. He's got Ulanzi cubes, so there you go. Same thing as a lume cube. So,
and apparently, I need to watch Mike's video on snowmaking because it's going to ruin this guy's wife's blender.
Oh, Jesus, what the hell are you doing over there, Mike?
Just go buy one of those cheap little blenders. I think they're like $12 at Walmart.
Dude, you can buy cheap snow. It literally was like $5.
No, but the way Mike did it, that snow worked out so much better using those little foam cubes that you can buy at the crafts department in Walmart, and just cut them up into little cubes and blend it, and it works perfectly. There's no static. There's no.
You'll see it in my Jason shot.
Yeah.
You'll see it in my Jason shot.
I'll have to watch that. Is it on the Instagram or did you put it on YouTube?
Yeah,
it's on both. I have it on YouTube.
You have it on your TikTok too, right?
And then I have it on TikTok.
Which one is going to be the most informative for me to watch to learn what you did?
Watch the 12-minute YouTube video.
All right, YouTube. Thank you.
And you'll see the picture on my Jason picture here.
I saw the Jason picture, and I thought the snow looked pretty good, but I have not had a lot of time to sit there and stare at any of this.
No, you've been busy.
I've had crap going on in my life. I do have time. I'm taking my own pictures, I've been working on my own diorama stuff this week, making those two.
Yeah.
So, just
had that Proxon going.
Yeah, dude, I love my Proxon. I love it.
It's a good tool, man. Yeah.
Yes, it's a good tool. But back to Adrian. Yes, I would like to see what happens if you can slow down your shutter speed and really just play with the light and use what light you have and get that going on, man. Adrian says, I think my lighting on my Spider-Man shots are better than this. This was an old pick. All right, yeah. When I first started, I was really dark too. So,
I would like to see a lot of the tips that we've been given. I would like to see people revisit the shots so we can go over it again.
Yeah,
there's been a few people that have done it, not enough, but I think if we could get more people to do that, I think that would be pretty good, because I would like to see if they took some of the advice and tried something new, just reshooting it again, and then we can go over it again the next time. That would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Casper's got this horror figure thing. Now I'm gonna start off. I love what you're going here, but this is way, way dark. But
the only face you can make out is Ghostface and Chucky, but everybody else is too dark.
Yeah. But really needs more light. Go ahead, Trevor.
I like this better than the turtles. I like that you're just doing this on a black background right now. But like, you could, I mean, if you want to do this, like, invest in a few props, or again, try outdoor photography. This could be great. You know what I mean? Like outside, like they could all be trick or treating or something like that. It'd be kind of funny.
Well, it looks like he's using all one light source for this entire. Well, no, he's got
definitely.
Two.
So like,
he's got a white on this side and a white hitting Freddy more.
We say it all the time. Just heat it. Bounce cards, man. Like these guys could be. You could just have a bounce card right underneath them, or they could be standing on a brighter surface.
That light around and help light up.
Atmosphere, aerosol, or fog is going to create more light around them. It's going to move that light around. So yeah, try that. Other than that, I mean, composition wise, this is a good one. I like this. I like what you've done with everybody here. It's just the light. I mean, I see what you're going for drama wise, but there's there's a graduation to that to some degree. You know what I mean? You have to get
songwriters. This reminds me of a Broadway horror musical with the stage lighting look.
It does. I mean, that's what that is two bright lights overhead, definitely, for sure. So they kick on with the background and they start going into the chorus or whatever.
Well, yeah, Casper, I like where your head's at, man. Let's just get a little bit more light going on here. And
now this is.
See,
I like this better than the other thing.
The thing, I think this is a composite.
You think?
I don't think
black.
Well, because the next shot that we're gonna go over, Sam is the same pose in the other shot this shot.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if it's because I know that one's a composite. So I'm wondering.
No, the lighting is different on Sam.
The lighting is different on Sam. Never mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just think
he might have just kept him in the same pose or something.
Yeah.
I like this is my favorite shot so far, though.
I do like the background. That you see that?
Yeah, it's a little too heavy. I think you need to pull some of the fog off of him.
Yeah.
Shoot your fog behind the figure.
Yep. Well, I think this is post. I think he did this post.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love the glow, the ethereal glow that you get around the house though with this fog. I do love that.
Casper, take this shot, the first one, probably, because I don't know if you can blend these. Well, see, I like the way the fog is around the building there. I think that's good, but it's too wide a shot. I would love to see this like really nice and tight.
Closer, yeah.
Because the figure is what you're shooting. You know what I mean? The figure shouldn't be, unless there's something that there's a reason, like the house is telling some sort of story, but it's not.
Well, it's evil inside.
Well, okay.
I think on that first shot, if the house had a Gaussian blur on it, I think because the house is too sharp.
Yeah, but I would have him like standing right over the camera, though. He should be like in the foreground, bigger than the house.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And just the fact that he's so minuscule in the shot, like if you crop this particular shot right around him, I think could be a really cool shot, actually.
Yeah.
Because you get a little bit of fog on the ground, you got him, everything's nicely in focus. Even maybe this, but like you're saying, Moz, the fog is overtaking.
Yeah, dehaze him.
I would dehaze him a bit. Yep.
It's a cool looking. But I think what happened here, and that's probably the reason why we got so much fog in general, is he was probably trying to, how they tell you when you're doing compositions, you want to have like a layer on top of everything. I think that's what we ended up with this. I think this is how we got here.
Yeah, I
back out of that.
Casper, in terms of I think his main thing is a lot of it is composition. I mean, it's lighting. There's a little bit of everything that you have to work on, but this lighting is actually pretty good in that first one. Is that nice? It blends well in the background, and you did a good job with that. I think it's just,
and it works for the amount of moon that's poking over the house too. With how far ahead of the house he is. I think that works out pretty well.
Absolutely works. That first one is a nice shot. It's just that he's too far away from the camera. Yeah. It's not bad, but you could be more dramatic with it. And I'm trying to think, like,
I think somewhere between these two is where he needs to be.
In general. Yeah, I don't know if you're a comic book reader, but look at panels of comic books, like some of the more dynamic things for inspiration on composition and stuff like that. If you don't want to go into like photography, portrait stuff, and all that. Like just look at comic books.
Oh, I love my funny books. Six Skill Steve. We are back with more shots of this dude. Can't think of his name. The guy from the Hateful Eight.
Yep, the Hateful Eight. I can't remember his name either.
She's the brain not working. This guy, Tango and Cash.
The actor. Kurt Russell. Yeah, I thought you were thinking of the character name. I couldn't think of the character.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the character's name at all. But Kurt Russell, I should have been able to get. But yeah. This is a great figure, man. I like this figure a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the McCready one. The McCready one that you did the other night was
McCready was good.
Yeah, I like the light on it. I like that flare that's coming off the rifle.
Yeah, that's a very nice use. Subtle flare there. I like that a lot. Yeah, the horse looks great too. Like the lighting, catching that flocking on the horse, this looks phenomenal. Looks great. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Any other comments on this?
I'm wondering about the blue. What was the choice to go with the blue background? Is this if it's a daylight shot? What
I think it's
where would he be?
Blue, and it's probably some foliage, leaves or whatever back there, just bokeh way out.
And not just the sky.
Well, look at the edge of his hair. Zoom back in, Maz.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hit this button if that's what you mean.
Yeah. It just really. Look at that hard lining around there. There's some chromatic aberration on there along because you can see it on the jacket too. There's a little.
That's that weird
shooting into that. There's a lot of chromatic aberration back there. I would that light, which just means that either to tone the light down in the back or change your.
This is natural light, Mike. There's no toning.
This is natural light.
Ball, man. He says he shot this in front of a window, tried out some atmosphere aerosol.
Dayball. Anytime you shoot directly with a bright light behind the figure or toward the bright light, whether it's a bird or a stick or a flower, lenses are going to give you that chromatic aberration. The way that you can fix that, then if you don't do it in the shot, just do it in Lightroom. If you have that option, just go down and adjust that slider. But or if you do it during the shot, you can just do it by decreasing the amount of light or just changing your angle just a little bit, so you don't get that hard blue. Yeah,
he's using a filter, I think. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, gotcha.
I can see how that works.
The only thing I would say is try a low angle on this. I don't know if the horse is.
I was about to say, does the horse look small?
A little out of scale for this, but I think it's the angle, or it could be the angle, or you could correct it with the angle. Like if you had it below his.
Yeah, the head looks small on the horse, doesn't it? For the body of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's riding a pony, not a full-grown horse.
He's riding a mule.
Yeah. But if you could you could fix that with the angle. Like if you came down low and the horse's head was more up in the scene, it was just a different angle. I think you could fix that. It's something I don't know. He looks small. It may just be that the figure has a lot of hair and fur, and I don't know.
Yeah, it could be that too. But
that looks like a Mr. Z 1/6 horse. I mean, it's definitely a 1/6 horse.
And this is a very poofy jacket too, so it might be adding to the bulk.
It might be adding to the bulkiness of him,
right? But sometimes
he still looks tall, taller than what you would. But again, like Trevor said, it's probably the angle, and I think if you shot it at a lower angle, that probably will correct it. Like it would fix that.
It also might look a little more dramatic too, at a lower angle, just a little more. All
right,
dramatic.
Thank you, Steve, for sharing. We're going to move on to the next one now.
Steve.
Casper, we got more of the light play here, man. More. Give it to me more.
Bebop gets lost in there.
This is better. This is better.
Bebop
it's a little better.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I would stay away from the composite so much. I would just play. You could do you got some great figures. I would just play with some portrait lighting. Like take one light and take a bounce card and play around with that. Just see if you can put a light, to the top angle and then have a bounce card right behind him or something like that. Just move that around. Just take a turtle, just one turtle and do it and play with that.
He got bit hard with the composites.
Yeah, I know it's fun. It
is fun,
but like and it's fine.
It can get away
if you're
from
having
you.
fun.
It can get away from you,
to
though.
do it.
Yeah.
But like, it's
It
not.
can't all be
probably
Mr.
gonna-
Lee though.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It's
Mr.
not-
Lee.
and it's not really going to help you with photography. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
don't know the
would
basics.
practice with two figures at most to get the lighting, and once you've already got your lighting down with the two figures, and then I would start adding more. But he's getting there. I mean, he's improved quite a bit from when he started.
Great.
You do know.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, hey, look at what Harry is up to.
Charging his phone.
Yep, just charging my phone.
I
Very
feel- I
nice.
feel like
Harry
you know,
lives in a
Martin
cyberpunk
going
world,
on.
man.
I was like, what are you
I do.
And then I got
And he has more coming up. He said.
Deposits? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Harry, tell us.
I
about
think
the-
he said Maz. I think he said Maz was going to be mad at him tonight because he had so many. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
I would say pick your best and tag those next time too.
Harry, go ahead, man. Anything you want to add about this?
No, I think everybody kind of just got it. I
Okay.
think.
Well, you starting
Yeah.
off the next one, Harry. I'm not letting you get by this without saying anything. Oh, look. Aha.
I think it's gonna be the same situation. You know,
That's
it's
my favorite one, though.
a lot
out of all of them.
it's a lot of compositing
looks-
here, which
It
is
looks
cool.
more dramatic here. This
I
one
think
looks
I
more
like this
dramatic.
a little bit more. Yeah, it
Mhm.
looks more like a poster thing going on, and not just like a scene.
Yeah.
This wouldn't make any sense if it's a scene. So
No, this one looks legit. This is the closest
Yeah.
thing I've seen to what he's going for so far.
Mhm.
I love the play.
Yeah.
Even the black background is working with this one.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's probably
Good
the
job,
best.
Casper. Yep.
So Casper, this is where you're nailing it right here, man. You have a lot of them coming up. We're gonna skip a lot of them too because you know,
But still, just take some simple portraits. Forget about the compositing. Just take some nice simple portraits and try that.
I really like how
lot.
this Baxter came out with this guy.
Yeah, that one. If that was a standalone portrait, that would have. Yeah.
That was a great shot if you just did it all by itself. Okay, that was a freebie. Here you go, Harry. This is one you can start on. There you go. Those wonderful toys.
Yeah, those wonderful toys always nails it. I think with the setup, he's always telling a story in such a beautiful way, and it's the same here. I think I feel like we had a shot like this before, kind of the
I don't know,
same.
but this
or
guy hurt his head,
similar-ish.
man. We should all take a moment to make sure.
Well, he's kind of worried that Gomez
gonna
over
burn
here
himself.
takes that torch to the chain to get that chain and
Oh,
ball.
that's your story.
He's
I
going to
think
burn
you
his
did-
hand.
Yeah, we had a similar shot or the same shot. 'Cause
Well,
we talked about that little flare, right?
Well, I think
No.
Is he the one that did the Frankenstein and Bride, the Raphael? Because it's the same style.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
why.
same.
Same guy, yeah.
No, I think like it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
It
or-
could very
Yeah,
well
he-
be, but Harry, let's
you know
move
what,
on.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
about-
Oh, I'm just crazy. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, this is a really, really nice shot. Nails it.
I like how the light is working in this one a lot. I really like how this light works on this torch is just on point here. Let's see what this button does. Oh yeah.
Settings.
The only thing I would say about this is I really like the story that's going on in the foreground. I don't know what's going on in the background. It's
The
cute,
background.
but
This
like
little
I don't
button
think
right here, man. Whatever this thing is.
Cutesy
I
stuff.
get it. He would have been. I would have put him maybe standing over next to the ball or something like that, and like just like that's where your story is. The rest is like
No, I get you.
supporting, and I'm almost distracted by what's going over there.
I think the reason why that is, I think because you see this guy's got the hard hat. I'm thinking he's like the foreman, right? This is my rendition of the story. He's the foreman. He's lecturing this guy, and these two are.
Oh, is he? Is this
are doing something they're not supposed to be doing while he's distracted?
So is he? So they're together and they're trying to take the chains off them for them.
Yeah. See how these are both like bad guys are in
prisoners?
stripes here?
Yeah.
And then
Okay. All right. That's a little.
I think he's distracting the boss, this little pissant thing, and then
Little grub. That's a little grub. That's a little
Yeah.
grub.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
so
Yeah, I like
That's nicely done.
I just saw that story. It wasn't like he told me or anything. I just kind of I like it though. I like it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's see, Casper. Okay, well I think we've gone through enough pointers on Casper for today. We love you, Casper. Unless there's anything you guys want to specifically point out here.
No, I think we told him everything. I think
because he's consistent right now with the shot.
I do like this one guy. This guy here, I like his pose. I like the angle. I wish he was more in focus, so he is kind of a little out.
He looks like he's got a little bit of a bounce on that one too. So like he is doing some bouncing. Just play with that, man.
Yeah.
Nice simple portraits.
Darkwing Collections. We got the Ahsoka Tano in his house.
Wow.
Hot to the Ahsoka Tano. Harry.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to say. It's a nice portrait. Lighting is great. I think the background. I think actually the background and the blades could use a little bit more blur, especially that back lightsaber there. I think it's way too in focus. That should be a little bit blurred out.
I think the blades need our
need our lightsaber pack. Yeah, a little plug there. But, yeah, I think also it needs to cast a little bit more blue as well, because it seems like there's a lot more blue in the front of her, camera left. There should be more in the back, creating some rim light, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe just darken the background a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit too distracting as well. There's too much going on.
I feel that these are too sharp. Like all these lights, they don't have like a realness to them. They're more like an effect that you pasted behind her, and not an actual light source. Is just what it feels like to me.
It's possible.
Yeah, just nitpicking. Yeah.
Can you zoom in on her right bicep?
Dude, this is not Facebook thing. This is not zero. I can't.
That's all I get.
You should be able to zoom in though. Instagram.
On her right bicep. Yeah.
There.
That's
zoom I can do.
Oh, okay. I was just looking at the masking on the lightsaber there, going through the right bicep, camera right bicep.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, Mike.
Okay.
Like it looks like it just stops. It doesn't look like it's going past her arm.
Yeah.
And you got some bleed through
then it comes out
on top of her arm from the whatever effect you're using here. Right in here, you can see the blue that they're using to make that blue lightsaber effect. It's like on top of the arm here. Darkwing says it was perspex with a
wow, cricket cutter.
Cricket cut. Okay. Oh wow, I can't read.
Nice cricket. Yay for the cricket. Good job with the cricket.
Hell yeah.
I'm down with that, man.
Trevor, anything you want to add on that?
No, I think you guys said it all. I mean, the background is busy. I think it would have been better if the focal length was shortened and that was a little bit more out of focus, and the more light was coming through there than it was coming on to her front with the blue. I think, you know what I mean, like a little more backlit with a bounce. And yeah, everything Harry said about the lightsabers casting glows on the back of her and stuff like that. So. It's a clean, sharp shot. It's tough with the effects, man. It's tough to get those things, working. I think it's mainly the background on this. I think it's almost just
it's too sharp,
overwhelmingly busy and sharp.
Well,
yes.
You know what it does? Those white spots almost mimic the hood or her hair. Or whatever that is, and so it kind of really competes with that. It does. And so, like you say, if you blurred it or minimized them, there wouldn't be as many of them there to compete with that head.
That's exactly it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Darkwing, he doesn't have Photoshop apparently, and the lightsabers only Procreate on Apple. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have access to it, then that's I understand that, and yeah, dude. For what you're doing though, it is working. It's just
I think the lightsaber is the least of it. I think it's basically the background, and like Mike said, I think it's because it's competing with her Leku that it's just like too much.
Yeah, I just think the lightsaber to make the plug for the membership as well.
I know. It would be much better if you had Maz's plugin.
Yeah, this is dude.
There you go,
Pablo. Wow. I'm loving the fact that you have this moose, but Trevor did it better.
Yeah.
Oh
no! Wow.
damn,
Oh,
man!
Hey, low blow.
Didn't you just apologize for
Yeah.
this at the front of the show?
Yeah.
Probably though.
Can't help yourself.
I just wanted to be able to crack a joke with somebody who could take it. You know?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
There's another shot coming up of Pablo's that I love, but I love.
Yeah, I love the other shot. Yeah, the other shot. Yeah.
Like all this is great stuff, Pablo.
Oh no, that's a collaboration. Those are different people.
I was just joking.
Oh,
You're putting your foot in your mouth left and right, man.
The bell's already rung. The bell's
I'm
already
putting
rung,
my
Moz.
Put in my mouth at the same time.
Yeah, the other shot I like. I do like the most.
I like this
What
too.
other wait, what?
There's a shot.
Another shot.
Yeah, I did another shot, but it's coming. It'll show up in a bit.
We'll move on to that one. Then.
Yeah, we can move on to the next one.
Is this the one? Casper.
This is Casper. This is the one that was talking about that. All he needed was the shadows on the floor, and I think would have nailed it.
And I like this floor effect. It's almost like it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, I wish you could have gotten the shadows on the floor. I would have sold this. This would have been really awesome.
Is that your signature in the lure?
Yes, that's the signature.
I'm not a fan of the way he's doing that, and I think he needs to continue to work on the signature.
Well, the signature's cool. Just minimize it. And
Minimize.
Well,
it.
One of them, he did it like a black on black almost. So it was really hard to see. So just, I think you should always do your signature of a lighter color. You know.
Like a watermark. It should be like a watermark.
It shouldn't be so prominent. Yep. But this shot, all I needed was shadows, and I think would have.
Oh.
No,
this awesome. I really like this one, man.
Cool.
That's a good looking shot.
This is giving me total movie vibes right now, man. I'm like, totally
I remember that in the theater, man.
I want to see this now.
Universal
I
Studios.
I'm gonna get out of here and go watch.
Did you guys see the? I don't know if it was a commercial, but it's been 40 years in the making, and they kind of revisited E.T. He came back.
Oh yeah.
That was such a cool commercial.
It was great.
Yeah.
Did they do this like Super Bowl commercial? I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It did a good job with that.
I've seen that.
But as to the point of this picture, I think he nailed the lighting on this.
He did.
It's a great use of light on here. I would like maybe a little bit more hotness on this, just because it's that foil. It's a little muted. I mean, I think everywhere else it works, but I would like just a little bit more highlights on this foil, just to kind of pop that a little bit more. But the rest, I think the lighting is great. Anybody else on that, if you'd like?
No, you hit it.
I don't know if you'd want to get much more on that, only because like you don't want that to be too.
No, I don't want to take it too far, but just to give it, because right now it looks less foily and more plasticky, and I just would want to pull out some more of those highlights just to give it more of that metallic sheen of foil. Or whatever, that material.
I love the setting. I love when you find those little mossy rocks, man. For toy photography, cute toy photography like this works so well in that setting. And it's nice lighting because you've got some shadow there. It's not too bright. You're not shooting the sky, so you're not he's nicely outlined by the background, but the background isn't completely blown out in black. It's nice. It's really cute. Yep. And it's a really cute. I mean, to me, it looks like this is not I'm trying to go for realism. This is a cute toy shot in an outdoor setting, and that's nice. Yeah. I like those things. Those are cool.
And I think it has a hint of realism too. Don't listen to Trevor there.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, no, I mean it's not, but it is.
No, it's a good shot though. Yeah.
There's awesome. What is underneath the wait a minute, hang on a second. What's underneath there? Underneath the umbrella.
This here?
Yeah, is that a leaf?
Oh. I think it's a leaf, yes. And it is at a scale, but I think he's using it to hold the umbrella in the position.
No.
That kind of killed it now.
Right. No. You lost me now.
I'm getting it all back. Huh?
Have you ever seen that Eddie Murphy movie Boomerang, where he like pulls the cover back and sees her?
No.
He's like,
no.
That's the I just got from you right now.
You had all this nice little moss that's like tiny and cute, and then you go and throw a leaf in there.
I think Moss stayed on this picture too long.
No, I'm just kidding. Like, but I mean, it does. I mean, I think that's why it kind of plays into that cute little toy in a scene. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect, but damn it would have been better without that leaf, man.
And before Mike, you get in, I know he's covering some feet here. I'm sorry.
No,
but
it's
it
good.
works because it's a foreground element.
Yeah, I'm thinking of when I saw that in the theater, man, and went to Universal Studios and went on the ET ride. And we had the Reese's Pieces cups and all that stuff. Man.
Dude, I could eat
was
these Reese's Pieces. It's my
That was
favorite. Pieces
back
of
in Battlestar Galactica days, man.
Yeah. That ET ride was still there like a few years ago, and we went on it, and it's like waiting in line in the forest was the coolest thing, and then you get on the ride and it's like something from the 50s in Disney World or something. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Jasper, more of the composite stuff. Interesting choices here.
Oh, that rat's distracting in the front.
Yeah, the background is very distracting.
No, I'm talking about that too, but the rat and that big rat that's really blurred out. No.
Yeah.
That one.
I didn't even see that.
My eye went straight to that.
What the heck?
I'll tell you what, you're bordering on like a kaleidoscope type of thing, man. You can go that route too, and just like literally take pictures and spin them around and like make that'd be kind of cool, actually.
All right.
It's just a shot.
There you go.
I like the texture you got on the moose here, but I'm definitely seeing that lack of black wash on the antlers.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I'm gonna have to look at that closer. But
I found it weird because I didn't get both mooses at the same time, so I got the one from Amazon first because I had found another one through Rabbit something, and I couldn't cancel that order anymore. So I went ahead and kept it. But when I got the Amazon one, I noticed that the one antler had a darker wash and the other one didn't have any wash. I was like, I wonder if that was a mistake. But when I got the second moose had the same exact thing. The antlers, and it was the exact same antlers also. One has a wash and the other one barely has a wash on it.
That those went through like two different lines. You know what I mean? Like, there was one guy in charge of the right antler and there's another guy in charge of the left antler.
He was missing that.
The left antler guy was just like, couldn't wait to get the hell out of it.
It was Friday. It was Friday for him.
Good enough, whatever.
Yo, Adrian, I need this horse.
No, but yeah, this is my favorite shot. I like the way
the framing. Yeah, I like the way you get the eye in there and everything. It's really nice.
Yeah, I really I was determined to get the eye because it was when I was
tricky, right?
It was tricky because I was setting it up in camera, and the first few setups I had, the antler was covering the eye. Yeah. And so I kept adjusting my camera angle down and low and bringing my camera lower and lower just so I can get the eye of the moose underneath that antler point. So I was like, when I finally got it, I took so many shots just to make sure I got the right one. But yeah, I'm really happy with the shot.
Eye of the tiger, you wouldn't have had half those problems. More dad jokes to come.
Great emotion in that too. I like this one.
Wow.
I'm so happy I have Magnus now.
Is this Magnus?
Composition on this is great.
Which one's Magnus?
Guy's Magnus.
Magnus is the knight, in the front.
Okay.
You got a nice angle coming through.
I was getting back.
Coming through.
I always do that because he posts more than one thing, and I know.
I usually only see his logo. I don't know. Okay. Nice angle coming through, nice cut there, and then the tree fills in that empty space where it would be empty, and it's great. It's really frames everything around. Really, really nice. Nice depth. Really good.
Thank you.
I like this a lot.
Very good.
It's a good one.
We're gonna move on, Pablo. Yeah, much more to do.
Yes.
Darkwing Collection is more Ahsoka Tano.
That's better.
Yeah, really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, I like how he got the blue on her shoulder from the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still want to play with that saturation. I don't like how purple that blue's coming out for the lightsaber. Now, if that light source is something else, that's an entirely different discussion. But, if it's supposed to be the blue from the lightsaber, I don't like how. And it's not just you. I mean, they did it in Obi-Wan Kenobi too. Like his blue lightsaber was way too saturated. It drove me nuts the whole time.
You're a bit of a saber snob, man.
I am a saber.
Yeah.
Thank you. And if you don't use the right grammar, don't get me started.
Laser word.
Taser face. But
yeah, this is nice. I like this one.
Yeah, and I like this is the lava monster
Constantine?
Spider-Man.
Right? Oh,
yeah,
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Oh,
the light on the face is
Star
really
Wars
nice.
pictures, though. Did you guys see that Hot Toys just announced that they're finally making Padme and Attack of the Clones?
Oh yeah, yep.
People will get that.
Zooming in on this, the only thing I would say is it looks like the hand of the lava monster of Molten Man is in focus, and the focus isn't on her face.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Her face looks a little blurry. Yep.
Good catch.
Yeah, watch that focus, man. Watch the focus. Your figure is Ahsoka, so
yeah. And see, Darkwing gets it, man. Saber, it's all about laser swords, right? Right. And I hate that purpley blue stuff they made his saber.
6 skill Steve.
Dude, I love this, Steve.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
You used the wrong quote, man. You used the Jaws quote. You should have used Robin, hand me the bat shark repellent, man, because that's what he's got, man. He's got the bat shark repellent. Why did you say that? Get it fine.
Oh man, this is
He's using a Jaws figure for the shark, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Hot Toys Adam West 66 Batman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish now I could have bought these for retail and I didn't. Now I'm kicking myself.
As you should.
Yeah,
I think I would have liked this. I think it works fine. I think the waterline being even would have been a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the horizon line.
I see why the horizon line's a little.
No, I understand. Yeah. I'm nitpicking now. I like the shuttle.
I think he did a great job though, lining up that water, like perspective wise and everything. Like the colors, it almost looks like it's actually in the shot. I think he did a great job there.
Yep.
With getting all that lighting wise and everything in there. But
a little. I mean, it's tricky to do, but a little water, like sprayed a little water on that shark. I don't know what that shark is.
Yeah, a little splash.
Wet, but that would have been good. Like a little bit of cellophane or something out of focus in the foreground to make it look like a splash or something really would have sold it. But again, like that 50s, 60s Scorpion shot, this is a 60s movie which had terrible effects. It was very low budget and it kind of works.
Yep, it works.
This shark is the one that jumped on Batman's leg, though. I'm just saying in the movie.
Does he have a secondary shot, or is it just?
Yeah,
I like this angle better.
Yeah,
that's almost like, oh man, that's actually
the problem. The one problem I have with this
on greatness.
Anything that he did wrong is just that in this shot, I think we took away the campiness of the show and made it look more menacing.
Yeah.
Whereas this shot here, it's got more of a campiness to it, and I like that. 66
and if you in that second shot, if you didn't know what that was, it's kind of hard.
You wouldn't know it was a shark. Yeah, you wouldn't know it was a
shark.
He
cut him off at the wrist at the top, but if you had zoomed out a little bit on this one, I think this would have been a cool shot. Actually,
yeah, I like them both. Though. I do like them both.
Yeah, they're both good. Yep.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
The lighting is perfect for that movie.
Yeah, it is. Ooh,
man, they're green. Man, in the light here. Boom,
man,
big bada boom.
He took this on his porch. He just took the figures out and he shot him with some Christmas lights. It probably is his Christmas tree in the back. I'm gonna hate it.
Probably is. It's probably the whole light source is like his Christmas tree. And he's like, I just
fireplace. I guarantee that's his fireplace and that's his Christmas tree in the back, isn't it?
Oh, actually, I think it's a detox because I think I see figures in the background.
Oh, you're right. It might be.
Yeah, there is one right there.
And this looks awesome. This
but
looks
it's awesome though.
Really interesting over here that you want to see more of, but not breaking you out of the dimensions of the piece. Like this looks like it's a legitimate, like something on this planet that they're doing, like background.
Well, it could work like a prison cell in the background. Like
yeah, it works so well.
Yeah,
it may be details. Awesome. It looks so great.
There's a hashtag on HCBA, no dio, no problem, and like this is totally the no dio, no problem type of shot. And, like, seriously, you focus on the foreground figure and like let everything else recede into obscurity. But if it looks cool and the lighting is nice and the colors are good, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what that is. Your imagination fills in the rest. Like you said, Pablo, it could be a prison or who the hell knows? Who cares?
I love how sharp the focus is on her helmet. Man.
Yeah, it's the key.
And it almost looks like a Hot Toys, but I don't think is this the Hot Toys?
Oh, it's not? I thought it was.
No, that is. Right? That is.
It does say Hot Toys on the hashtag.
It has to be because I don't think he doesn't shoot anything else other than
No,
Hot
he's
Toys.
got Black Series too, and it looked like
Oh,
some
okay.
of
No, it's a Hot Toys.
Oh, I don't know.
It
You might
says
be
Hot
right,
Toys.
Maz. I think this is the Black Series.
There's the hashtag Hot Toys there though.
It says Hot Toys in the hashtag.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't see Black Series on there.
Star Wars Hot Toys is what it says in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it is Hot Toys. Yeah, because that's the okay. That's Paz.
That's single
Anna
bed
Green says,
elbow.
yeah,
That's
it
gotta be
is,
a hot
man.
toy.
He says that is his DTOF back there, man.
Nice. Yeah, it
It
looks
is
like a
Hot
prison
Toys.
cell, man. It's like it's awesome. It's
Dude,
like,
it reminds me of Han Solo and Carbonite back there.
no, that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
top-down
the look
lighting. Yeah.
I
A
feel
little
like I'm
bit, yeah.
getting, man. Like they're freeing Han Solo, man. But dude, he's giving Harry a run for his money. The cinematicness of this shot is just like
No, this is up there for sure.
this is like taking Harry going, "Oh, you think you're cinematic?
He just went bam.
Check out my DTOFs and see them in your nearest cinema."
Yeah, it's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah, this is definitely cinema quality.
Dude, Harry, I love this shot. This is great, man. This is great.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on though. We're gonna move on. God,
There's that diorama. Yep.
There
he
you go.
can make this thing work, man. He's like Tim Gunn from Bravo's Project Runway, man. Just making it work, man. I only know that because my wife would watch that. So it wasn't me. I didn't go.
Designers.
It could be Lifetime. I forget. Lifetime's I don't know. It was on two different networks for me. But this is I like this one, even though it's got a lot of headroom. I kind of like it better than that one because
See, I like that one.
Bothers me.
I like the first one actually.
The first one
I
just
like
kind
the
of
light on the first one.
Yeah, I like the light on the first one.
I like the crop of the second one.
Yep.
I don't really. This one I could just leave entirely.
No.
Focus on the lizard and the dewback. You're gonna be specific. But
No.
this one's not bad. I just don't like
that one is great.
Almost cutting that spear tip off. Whereas this one, you get the room to breathe and.
Kind of like that one, yeah.
Yeah, that actually is kind of nice. I do kind of.
The second shot would work if he had the letterbox on the second shot, not this
but
shot.
if the letterbox was cropping it, because right now if you try to put
fair,
that in,
you
there,
put a
you're gonna
letterbox
crop
on
your spear
anything, it looks
entirely.
True.
Adrian is offering to buy prints of that there, Commander Green, for that shot you posted. And then Commander Green, in regards to kicking Harry's butt, he says, please, I can't hold a candle to his shorts." Shorts?
Shot. I think maybe shots, maybe.
Shot?
Maybe it was his shorts. I don't know.
Man. I don't know what these about shorts.
I don't know.
Yeah, my shorts are,
I think it's his shots. Maybe, yeah. That's
shoddy shorts. I don't know. Whipping Tan, though, dude, this is the one I like. So, yeah. Anybody want to break into this?
I do like the lighting in the background cutting through the atmosphere. Like
I love it. And you get the cast of the figure shadow going through the lighting here. I always love catching that with the lights. So
get a nice sense of depth. With that, I like that he didn't crop out all of that cave wall on the left there.
Dude, he loves his cave wall, man. And I love his cave
well,
wall.
I know, but it frames the figure. Like the whole thing is really nicely framed. It's really nice. It's got a really good balance, and
dude. Oh man, I love this Rippic Tan. Great job, man. I love the lighting on this entirely. The only thing I would want to do here is work on getting the joints out of the shot, because that's me though. That's just the way I'm like, let's get these joints out of here if I can. Photoshop, blah. But other than that, dude, I couldn't touch this shot. This is beautiful. Yeah. We're gonna move on though. Casper.
See now we're going into
these guys here,
single
man.
shots. There we go.
Yeah, better.
Single shots here. Let me see.
There you go. Oh, whoa. Go, whoa. Right back there. There you go, man.
Yeah.
That's a shot.
You got your Dutch angle, which Trevor loves the Dutch and the angles. Oh.
Well, but it works, though. Composition, the way his structure of his body, and he's holding that rat. This is nice, man.
And the top, and coming from the top was great.
Yeah, this is it, dude.
Yep. It's a good shot.
Yeah,
do this.
This is great.
More of that. That's good.
We weren't even done cycling through all this. So
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
But
I think that's your best
this is
one.
I think the
exactly
best
what you
one is
should
that one.
do.
This one's-
I would say, like, right now you're like testing this out, and if you're going to show it to us, it's great that you showed all these shots. But like, once you get going, you know, like, you'll know this is the best one out of all of them, and this is really good, man. Really good.
And the only thing this one really needs is I think he needs to bring out him from the background a little bit here.
Yeah,
a little bit of rim light around him or something. Just to
he's not blending into the background or anything.
No,
like
but
that.
just
the
to punch him
colors
out a
are so
little bit more.
bright that he's standing out. Dude, this is your best shot. Yeah, so far this is great.
Now, Mike, I saw your message earlier. Do you need to be going here, sir?
I need to scram pretty soon. Yeah, I've got to finish up some painting in the garage before I go to.
Ooh, Darth Matter, man. Look at his Obi-Wan here.
That looks nice.
It almost looks like cloth good clothing on him, but then you see the sleeve and it's plastic.
Yeah.
So you did a great job commanding that light on this material to really hide a lot of that plasticky look. I mean, maybe down here, but he could be just wearing leather pants. You know, he just came back from the club.
Yeah.
I don't. But the only thing that's really thrown me out for plastic to cloth is this little bit here on the arm. And other than that, I think you commanded the light beautifully on this, my friend.
I don't know if he composited this or shot it in front of the back. I mean, I know the snow he probably added. Is that over the top of him, or is it just in the background? I guess it's just.
I think he's just behind him. He doesn't have a lot of foreground snow.
So I don't know if he composited this or shot it in front of something, but this is kind of has that look. The dinosaur shot that we looked at earlier with the Wrangler. You know, this is also a very gray background, but you have that light source there that's hitting like as if there's sun peeking through, and that's the difference between that shot and this shot.
That's a good callback to that shot.
And feel, you know, depth and shape, like Mike said, shape to the figure. Even though there's really nothing going on behind him, you know what I mean? It's interesting, but it's pretty basic.
I think Trevor, that was a great thing to mention. That other shot that was in that white out type, you know.
Yeah.
That was a great callback to what we were referring to, trying to get a little bit of that accentuating light on the figure without breaking the mood. Because you can barely notice it, but you do notice it as far as the way it's pulling the figure out of that background.
Totally.
So very, very nice work here. Anybody else on this one, or should we move on?
It's pretty good.
All right, move on.
Mike's shot.
Here's Mike's shot. Look at
there
that,
you go.
So,
dude, yeah, I totally remember the shot. This is a great shot.
I like how this looks like very icy snow. So that is a pretty cool effect that you got going on there with that. I'll have to watch your video on blending styrofoam or whatever.
Looks messy as fuck, but I don't know.
Yeah.
This particular foam is a little bit because it's recycled plastic, which is why it works so well. But that YouTube video, you'll like it, Moz. It shows why not to use the other foam, and you'll see.
We'll go over it too next week too. So be prepared to talk more about snow next week. So
all right, I'll have another shot for you next week.
For the next week, let's try to add. I know this is kind of short notice, but let's try to tag stuff specifically with snow because I want to try to focus all on snow.
All right.
Okay. The use of the snow. So
I'll do another shot.
It was a little late notice, especially at the end of this show, this kind of thing. And
hashtag let it Moz, let it Moz, let it Moz.
Let it Moz.
That's a good
Instagram will eat that anyway. I won't see it. You'll have to tag it.
That's like good, Mike, man. That snow looks great. This is an awesome concept. Love the concept.
Thanks.
Composition, great. Yeah, I really like the snow, man. I mean, I don't know.
Appreciate
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to next week, man. That's going to be an interesting.
Yeah, we can go over what we use for snow and how it all works. And
I'm really hoping I could accomplish the shot that I want to do with the two mooses in the snow. So I hope.
Steve is asking, how was the cleanup on this, Mike?
Wasn't bad if you work with your Dio or whatever you're shooting on with a mat under it or a piece of seamless roll paper or something, so that when you're done, you can just dump it and brush it all down and then fold it and dump it back in your bag. It's real easy. It doesn't have any static to it or anything like that, so you'll be good.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right, we're going to move on because I want to try to get as far as we can here. Darkwing Collection got a really nice use here of lightsabers and casting that light on General Grievous here. I really like what you're doing here. The only problem is where is this red coming from?
Stylistic choice.
Yeah, I think
that's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah, stylistic.
Maybe we'll see where this red's coming from here. There we go.
Oh, he has it
Not even
off.
on the camera.
Yeah, he turned it off. Yeah, but it's that light panel that he had there in the back.
I like it. I mean, it's very simplistic in its nature, but I do like where you're going with this.
I would have liked to seen that top. Oh God, let me see. Top right hand lightsaber up a little bit so it isn't cutting off his hand. It would have framed it perfectly if it had gone like a little bit straighter, not completely straight. Just
I see. Yeah.
And then you would have had the blue one, his arm pointing to his head, and then the yellow one over the top would have been a nice frame for his head. But you cut off the face, which is kind of the focus usually.
Yeah. I'm surprised Moss hasn't said anything about the lightsabers yet.
No, I already made the comment to. I think is already about the
Yeah, he cut off the foot here. It's not.
Yeah. We're not gonna let Mike even talk about that.
Well, he's got enough lightsabers to compensate for it. So
this is
enough rim lights.
This is Mike right here looking at that General Grievous lack of foot. Look at it. Cut off that foot. This is like the perfect expression to follow that up on.
Man, I love the facial expressions that came with this figure. I kind of regret not getting it.
This is you judging lightsabers.
Who's this? Is Mayfix? Is this Mayfix?
No, I think it's the Sentinel, isn't it? Or is this
Sentinel? I think.
I need this.
I
need Kirby Parker in my life, man. I love
good. There's only one thing that I would change, but I'll let you guys see if I don't know if you feel the same way.
Actually, he doesn't. He has Marvel Legends hashtag on there.
Oh yeah.
I don't see.
It's not Marvel Legends though. Marvel Legends doesn't use that texture. It would be
not with that joint. Yeah, so I'm not sure why I don't see the.
But what are we supposed to be seeing, Trevor? I'm blind.
Well, you
said the Sentinel, by the way.
I don't know. I don't want to jump on for top of nobody. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fine looking figure. I mean, the knee joint really bothers me on the left, but
can't win with
that's just where the figure is. I know, but he's not sitting quite flat in the chair. That one leg camera right.
That's it.
It's not sitting flat. Is it? Okay.
Well, that and like the way he's sitting is like that leg is a little like it would be falling.
It looks like he's falling over.
Over a little bit on the chair more.
It too, but it wasn't bothering me until you said something. Thanks. I was completely happy. My own little world going. I like the look on his face.
I like that figure though.
Oh man, it's really expressive pose. The lighting is really nice. I like everything about it. That's a very small nitpick. I like it.
But is not on the seat or barely on the seat. I guess.
Yeah, it looks like he's falling off a little bit.
Yeah, he does look like he's falling off. Yeah.
But other than that, man, that's a good shot.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good shot, man.
I really like this shot.
Yeah, those knees are funky though. They are funky.
I don't even care.
They really.
That facial expression just reels me in every time. Like that with the coffee mug and the whole whatever he's looking at. I love how that it seems to have his attention, and I love it.
I think you could almost have cropped this a little tighter on the top and cropped off his knees, because I think the thing that's throwing it off is that sweater is the Christmas Gomez sweater that he put on, which is a great use for it. But the soft goods and the how good those look make those knees look even worse. It just looks like everything looks so real, and it's like, oh, whoa, what is that? Okay,
what's going on there?
Yeah. If he would have made a tighter crop, if he done it in the cinematic
landscape,
it would have worked awesome for this shot.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait till the one. June 2nd, 2023, Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we saw.
Oh, look at this. This is another great facial expression. He's on the chair this time.
He's sitting in the chair better here.
There you go.
He's got the stormtrooper down there. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
On 6 scale.
6 scale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me give that a like too. I like that. The only thing here with this shot is that it's very yellow, like the whole shot. I'd like to cut this with like just one other color. Of course, being the complementary color to the yellow would be some blues. Just kind of cut into that a little bit. But
Adrian's, if you have Photoshop or Lightroom, you can take this into the raw editor in Photoshop or in just the editor in Lightroom, and you can change the color temperature to a little bit more blue. And I think this could be an even better shot because this is a really nice shot.
It's very, very warm in here, and he's got a sweater on. He should be cold.
It looks like he popped the strings on his guitar.
Yeah. Well, he's pulling them down. He's playing a chord right there. That's what I'm thinking. He's bending them down a little bit.
But it's a cool guitar. Does that guitar actually have guitar strings? Because I mean, they look like real guitar strings.
And Adrian said he would do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think they actually have strings.
That's pretty neat.
Really, really thin strings.
This is great.
I don't even know how you put strings on that guitar, man. That'd be so tough.
You're doing a great job, Adrian, of taking what this figure can do, and this is a great example of taking what a figure can do, like the expressions and the type of articulation, and working with that to create your scene. Like you knew you had this face, and you were like, I can make this work with him playing guitar. And I love the fact that you had enough know-it-all to kind of to work with that, you know, to play the strengths of the figure as well as to get the scene that you wanted.
And all the Christmas stuff, I mean, you know, it's got a Christmas feel, but there's just stuff on the table, you know what I mean? It looks real. It looks like it's not just a table with like one object on it or something. Like
he's got a toy. It's like he just opened his toy for Christmas and he's singing.
It's a well thought out scene. It's nice.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And now you're just taking our attention.
Story.
Yeah, the whole story here. Hold on, what else we got? Oh, look. Miles, you're a little young for that, my lad. Yeah, you got caught. You're busted, dude. You're busted. That's right. No, you it. Peter already saw it.
Ever heard of the internet, Miles?
Dude, I love this. I love this. I love how out of focus he is here. The only thing that could make this a little better, though, is I think that he's a little off focus on his face here, though. Like it's not quite sharp enough to be in focus. Just like a little.
And apparently, Miles doesn't have a computer because. Like,
I was gonna say, heard of the internet, Miles?
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, guys. Mike, let me know that he's got to get on. So, Mike, anything else you want to add before you go here, sir? To give you the full treatment here.
No, I mean, thanks for having me. Theodore shipped out. I'm excited to get him. I got my tracking number on that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate you. Mine hasn't shipped or done anything yet.
But aside from that, I look forward to starting on a new dial probably this week. I'd like to get one started. And since you're going to do the snow, Moz, I'll just end up doing not a dial for that, but I'll get another snow photo done this week for Christmas with my Mezco Jason again. So unless Theodore comes.
I'll have to see if I can get a picture for that too, because I'm working all the way until next Tuesday. So
yeah, we got to fit it in where we can. But that's all, you know. That's all I'm doing. So,
Mike. Thank you so much for being here tonight, man. It was great having you. Even though I like to give you a crap about feet, just because it's funny.
It's all good. It's all good. You guys have a great night. I appreciate you having me.
There's Mike.
You too, Mike.
All
right. Anything we want to add to this, or we're just enjoying the story here, or anything else?
Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Nope, I think we hit it on the. Yep.
Adrian's man, this is great. I love what you're doing here. Let me go back to comments too here. Loving this stories post, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where we're at here. We need to try to.
We're almost done, actually. I think we have like 5 more photos to go.
That could be too many. Hold on. Oh, we went over this one. No.
No.
I looked at this and commented on it. Wow. Steve, man, I want this bike for my David.
Wow, that is a tight.
Send me the bike.
Looks awesome.
Wow.
I have that same David, and I see you also lost his earring because it doesn't stay in his ear. But yeah, this is the Redmond Toys Lost Man 6 scale.
The ground looks so good.
Yeah, really good detail on that. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Your diorama settings here are great, man.
It looks
I want this
awesome.
bike, and the headlight looks great here too.
The headlight looks great too. Yeah,
great use of doing that, man. This isn't cool, completely accurate to the movie. His bike was not this cool. It was actually a lot cheesier than this, but it works for him. So, but yeah. You add a little bit of Joel Schumacher flair, you know, bat nipples. Think of that kind of stuff, and then put that on that bike, and it's more like yeah, the earring. I lost my earring somewhere.
The bike had nipples.
Yeah, the bike had nipples. You didn't know that, did you?
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that film.
You're really.
I love how you lit David's face here, though, man. Because I know when I shoot this guy, I have a really hard time getting a good light on his face. It's either it doesn't quite ever fall quite right on him. You know, it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but I think you nailed the lighting on his face.
Makes him look like a real person almost.
Yeah,
yeah, it's really good lighting.
Yeah, very well used
nice.
lighting here. We're gonna move on. We got more Casper. We're doing the RoboCop this time.
Okay.
Looks like the NECA RoboCop or maybe Hyatt Toys. One of the two.
That's the NECA one.
All right. Yeah. What's with this blue underneath his arm here, though?
I think he just has a blue light shining from the bottom up. Or
whoa.
That's very blue.
Yeah, that is very blue.
That's very blue still.
Blue.
That one's better.
I really like the blue on this part of his body. I see. That's not bright enough.
No. That one's out of focus.
Yeah, I think the first one's probably the best one here, but I'd like to know the story of why you chose such a hot blue here. Is it just to kind of give that metallic breakup in his armor? I mean,
well, I'm wondering if it's because it's supposed to be the light coming from that
practical
open
lights?
leg.
Yeah.
So the light coming from what?
His open leg. That leg is open where he gets the weapon out.
Yeah.
I don't know that lighting up in there, but I could be wrong.
You go. I think in the other shot, it does show that a little bit more. Like there, yeah. Like, is that practical?
I don't think it's practical.
That looks like an effect.
Yeah, it looks like an effect.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we need to tone this down a little bit. I think it's just a bit too harsh here, and it's very distracting. This blue here on his armor. I'm not saying get rid of it entirely, but control that a little bit more. I think it definitely is pulling my attention to just look right here, and not taking a lot of the rest of the stuff going on. That's just me. Any other thoughts, guys?
No,
agreed.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree on that one too.
All right, we'll move on then. Dark. Ooh, this is a nice red hood.
This is the last shot.
This is the last shot. Rock on.
Yeah.
Darth, man, this is great. I mean, even though you use red as a background, I love how you separated the red on his red hood, to the background. I think this is a great subtle separation that really worked really well. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I like that gradient in the background.
Yeah. Beautiful. And this is what the McFarlane red hood. Yeah. McFarlane.
Yep. Yeah.
It's really cool. I even like the ring light or whatever the casting this light with. I'm really digging that. It's just different enough that it doesn't look too much like a regular just light in his face. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm really a big fan of that. Trevor, anything you want to add?
Very nice. No, it's nice. Yeah, no, it's good. The red was it's tough to deal with a red background, but this is a nice toned down red background that you got here. No crimson more than bright red. Thankfully you didn't try to shine red light on him, which would have been horrendous. I could see the tendency to do that, but it's good. This is it's nice. This is again going back to Casper, just a simple white light. You can use a background color to light the background a little bit, like with your RoboCop shot. Even the background could be a little bit blue, but then keep a nice clean light on RoboCop himself for now. You know what I mean? Just simple stuff for now, because you nailed it with that other one. I don't know who the hell that was, but it was a good shot.
All right, and that has got us done. Yeah, because that's Commander Greens from last week. So rock on, guys. We made it. Only 3 hours and 12 minutes. Oh,
good Lord. My wife's going to kill me.
We made it. I'm proud. Sorry, I'm staring at this guy again. I'm really excited how this fog came.
No, it's a cool shot, man. It came out great.
But
it came out great, man.
And this figure is awesome. If you don't have this, Trevor, I need to tell you where to get this guy from. That should still have it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here today, guys. I really appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, of course. And next week we're gonna go full into snow. We're gonna let it snow, as you say, and we're gonna discuss all that. Hopefully, we'll have the same people here. I'd love to have Trevor and of course Mike here, and Pablo if you're gonna be working with snow. And if possible, if we could even do some video footages of the BTS for the snow, if we do it. If not, this is fine. Just still.
Well, if I can get my concept with the moose down, then I'm definitely gonna shoot BTS behind it because I'm gonna really push the limit on that moose and see what I can do. Because there's a pose that I want that moose in, so I'll see if I can pull it off. Then yeah, I'm gonna be shooting some behind the scenes.
Speaking of pushing the limits, man, I want to try to have John Constantine versus the Headless Horseman. I don't know how it's going to play out yet. But
I'm actually curious about tomorrow's order, if it's going to be a buy now in stock or a pre-order for that new Atticus Doom that they're going to have up tomorrow on that store. Because I like the new color scheme on that Atticus Doom.
I'm really trying to put money in the bank so I can afford my Hot Toys and stuff, man. But right now, I'm living check to check, and I'm not able to put anything in the bank, and it's pissing me off.
I'm passing on a lot of these recolors and stuff like that from.
And for me, also, it depends on the price. If it's going to be more than the first run, then I'm passing on it because I don't want a shirt and all that other crap.
Yeah, you'll get a T-shirt though.
Yeah. So.
Well, maybe you'll get lucky though and drive down the price of the other Atticus Doom so I can get myself one because
maybe.
I'm fine with the old one. I like what I saw of it. I just
I need to see what else, like what changes, because I know the coat's different. It's not just a different color, but the coat's actually different because it's got fur on the collar. The first Atticus Doom didn't have that, and it's like a grayish, almost greenish color. And then his vest is green compared to the first one that was red. So there's some color changes. And then I know the skull doesn't have that wash. It's like a straight glow in the dark white. That's what it looks like to me. So, but there hasn't been enough product shots, for me to be convinced whether I want to get it or not yet. But we'll all find out tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, that Constantine's not out of stock. I'm sorry, Trevor.
Oh,
that's all right. I'll get it.
I was clicking on mine. It says this product cannot be reordered because it's out of stock.
Ooh.
Sorry. Man, he's so cool too.
I'll get him if I want him. I got enough to trade.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it a night, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next week with some snow.